Do Rasulullah need the dua of Umar? Nabi Muhammad don't need the dua of Umar. But yet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showing to us, that's what it is. Our people coming to us and our family comes to us, they ask, keep us in du'as. In du'as, make dua for us, make dua for our family, make dua for our children, Jamaat Muslimin. So being there, I need to utilize my time to the best of my ability. And that's very important. I've seen how people on this journey, they lose themselves. And there the spiritual part comes in. It's all about the mindset. It's all about we don't expect anything. Allah selected us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me this opportunity. And there's a possibility that I can achieve my Jannah. I don't expect anything. That Allah already honored me. That there are so many people that did not go for Hajj. Wallahi, my mu'adhin at the masjid asked him, he was 70 years old, that he never went for Umrah, he never went for Hajj. And there's so many people that didn't go for Hajj, Jama'ah. And yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given us the opportunity to go for Hajj. Allah selected us. So we cannot really waste, we can't lose ourselves. So we were traveling, so now we're on Al-Duha, and we were staying on the airport. It was like in transit for about 8 hours. Technically we're supposed to get the place, and they said that we're going to get the place, we're going to stay in a hotel, and obviously people were visiting. We didn't sleep well for a few nights because people are coming to your house, people's excited, they're coming in, people are giving, bringing, whatever. That's our nature, Jama'ah. That's what it is. Guys were laying on Arafah with us, and one guy's from Joburg, and he said to me, you know what, my family just sent a notice. I'm going for Hajj, please keep us into us. Khalas, inshallah, we can keep you guys into us. That's it. That can never happen. That will never happen in Cape Town, and it should never happen. Why? Because we value, we revere the guest of Allah. We revere our Hujjaj. We know the Hujjaj are people, the guests of Allah, and if the Hujjaj make dua, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the du'as. If the Hujjaj ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intervention, ask Allah's forgiveness, then Allah will grant them the forgiveness, and whomever they seek for forgiveness, Allah will accept that du'as. And that's what it is. That's why we're extending our time, and that's why we want to be in their company, because we understand this is not any people, these are the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So from a spiritual side, we have to be disciplined. We have to constantly reflect and ask ourselves, why is it that I'm on this journey? I'm performing ibadah. And we have to bear in mind, my journey of Hajj don't start when I arrive in Makkah, or the 5 days of, that's only 5 days. But my Hajj already starts from the moment I exit or I leave my home. And then Allah is going to test us. Rasulullah reminds us, this is not going to be it cannot be an easy journey. So we have to compare our journey to Rasulullah. So imagine Nabi Muhammad ﷺ on a camel, the beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, had to sleep on the ground, there's no mattresses, and we are so fortunate. We're traveling, they had to travel for days, and we're traveling only, subhanAllah, easy hours, Jama'ah. So if it is that Allah do test us, and Allah is going to test us, and there will be a hiccup, there must be. That's what it is. This is the journey of, Rasulullah described it as difficult. So now they gave a pass that we're going to go in a hotel. So now standing by the counter, in order to go to the hotel, the guy tells us, no, your agent did not really book, or I don't know, something happened, so there's no hotel. So now we have to stay on the airport for 8 to 9 hours and didn't sleep. So what you going to do? Are you going to lose yourself? Because I saw people losing themselves. People started shouting. It started there already. People have started arguing. Now the agent's supposed to make this right. And yes, it's all right. If it is that you want to raise it, you can raise your opinion. That's what it is. No problem. But I cannot go to the extent where, because of I need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us that we're not, wala jidala. I cannot argue whilst being on this journey. I cannot speak vulgar whilst being on this journey. This is a journey that Allah expiate my sins. So I need to train myself. If this happened, khalas, qaddar Allah ma sha, that's what it is. I have to move one side, I have to open up my Quran, I have to take my tasbih, and I have to occupy myself, because of most of us that we're on our way, that first we go to Madina. Everybody's going to Madina first, and over Makkah. All of us mostly. So imagine now that you're going in a mindset because of this obstacle that happened, and you're losing yourself. And very soon that you're going to visit the beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very soon you're going to stand in the presence of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Are you going to stand with that mindset? Are you going to stand in a mindset that you're angry and you didn't prepare yourself? You have to prepare yourself. Anything happen, Jama'ah, you take your tasbih with you, and you utilize the tasbih, and you make your tasbih, and you recite constantly salawat on our beloved Rasulullah, because that's what it is. That the minimum salawat that you have to recite, minimum 100 salawat. And the Salihin, they used to make 5,000, 100,000 salawat daily on our beloved Rasulullah. So if it is that I cannot recite Quran, then take your sibha and you recite your salawat and you prepare. So that automatically puts you in a different tone. It puts you in a tone of spirituality. It puts you in a tone that you're preparing yourself. Well, like Umar ibn Khattab, when he went on his Umrah and he visited the grave of beloved Rasulullah and was standing by the grave, and he conveyed salams to our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he started reflecting, and he reflected on all the miracles that Allah have given to all prophets. Allah have given the miracle of speaking to Allah to Musa. Musa could directly speak to Allah, as Allah described him. وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. So Allah have given Sulaiman, Allah gave him the kingdom that he could control jinn, that he could speak to animals. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given various prophets various status and karamat. So now Umar was reflecting on the karamat or the mu'jizat that Allah has given to Rasulullah and all the prophets. And he said, he reflected on one particular, standing by the grave of Rasulullah, and he said, Wallahi ya Rasulullah, that I will never forget that I was in your company, and a Jewish lady came to you, and a Jewish lady then presented to our beloved Rasulullah a piece of like lamb, and Nabi Muhammad was about to devour this lamb, and Allah permitted this lamb piece of meat to speak. And a piece of meat then said to the Prophet, O Nabi of Allah, do not speak, do not devour, do not eat from me, because of this lady, Jewish lady, have inserted poison in me. So he said, I feel, ya Rasulullah, that was the greatest of miracles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given to you, O Prophet Allah. So we reflect, you don't lose yourself. And I've seen, Jama'ah, how people, even in the holy lands of Makkah, in the holy lands of Madina, they lose themselves. Yesterday after Jummah, the brother that he last year went with us for Hajj, and he said, Sheikh, there were a couple, on the return coming back from the Hajj, they became murtad, apostasy. Wallahi. After Hajj, I personally have heard how people's experience in Makkah, and there's one guy was saying, I never want to return back to this land. Astaghfirullah. Allah don't want you here. Allah's not in need of you. So because of it, it comes because you go with a certain expectation that you expect it must be luxury. You expect that royal treatment. You, the guest of Allah, that you're going to get obstacles. You're going to find people don't understand. You don't speak the language. And they're going to treat you in a particular way. But this is all part of traveling. And you don't lose yourself because of any difficulty experience. It's a means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expiate my sins. And Allah raise my darajah. So I cannot lose myself, Jama'ah. I have to be constantly reflecting. This is the basis. The source of revelation came from where? From Makkah and Madina. The source of hidayah came from where? From Makkah and Madina. That the companions that passed away, Makkah and Madina. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam footprint where? Makkah and Madina. So I have to be very careful what I say. I have to also be very careful what I do. These lands are holy lands. That Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, that he refused to walk with shoes in the city of our beloved Rasulullah. He said, how can I walk with my shoes knowing that Rasulullah's footprint were here, and I'm walking with my footprint, with my shoes in the footprint of Rasulullah? I can't do that. I can't do that. That they were so passionate, they were so in love with this great personality. They revered the city of our beloved Rasulullah so much. They were so conscious of not uttering any bad words to any person in the beloved land of Madina and Makkah. And we, Jama'at, we just lose it. So we need to train ourselves. We need to be conscious all the time. The Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, that he was so in love with the wording of Rasulullah. Once he was sitting and giving a lesson, that I'm giving a lesson, I was speaking about this Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so the student noticed that his face turned pale and he was like in agony. But he still continued his dars, his lesson. And after the completion of the lesson, the students asked him, Ya Imam, are you okay? Something happened. And he said, whilst I was preparing and giving my lesson and speaking about Rasulullah, a scorpion bit me. And he said, I could have attended to my foot, but I could not handle breaking the speech of Rasulullah with my speech by attending to my foot. And in that pain, speaking about Rasulullah, and only after completion of the wording of Rasulullah, then he attended to his leg. That was a level of respect they showed to Rasulullah. So similarly, us also, Jamaat Muslimin, that we're not living on an island, that we're going to live and we're going to interact with many different types of people. And we need to understand that everybody are different. Everybody's background is different. Everybody comes for different purposes. But I need to be focused. I need to remind myself that I came here for my ibadah. This is my ibadah. This is my Hajj. I'm going to try to the best of my ability to please Allah and His Rasul so that I can assure that I get the accepted Hajj. In this Hajj, inshallah, that Allah is going to grant me Jannah via this particular Hajj. There was one great scholar, his name was Malik ibn Dinar, and all the years, he understood the importance of Hajj. And that was his habit every year, that he used to go for Hajj. So he goes after completion of fasting, that he prepared himself to go for Hajj. And this year, he was on his journey. Obviously we need some money, and so on his way to perform Hajj, he then noticed an elderly lady scratching in a bin. And this lady was scratching in a bin. He was standing from a distance and viewing and watching this lady. And as he was looking at this lady, then he saw the lady was about to eat something that is dead, a dead chicken. And then he approached this lady, because she's a great scholar. Everybody knew him, Malik ibn Dinar. And he approached this lady and he said to this lady, don't you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbidden that we cannot eat something without saying the name of Allah? The chicken is dead, you can't eat it. And this lady said that my husband passed away and I have children, and I was in this community and nobody could share some form of food with us. And the only thing that I could think about, Allah says, if a person is in a state of difficulty, then you're allowed to eat something that is dead. Imam Malik, or Malik ibn Dinar, seeing this lady in this condition, he took his Hajj money and he gave it to this lady. And decided that, Allah, you're my witness for this year, that I'm going to forsake my Hajj, that I'm going to see to the needs of this particular lady. And obviously, he's known in the community, everybody knows that he's going for Hajj that year, and he never went. And the delegation went for Hajj, and alhamdulillah, they performed the tawaf and the one Arafah. And on the return coming back, that everybody was speaking about this great scholar, Malik ibn Dinar. Everybody was saying that, mashallah, we saw Malik ibn Dinar on the plains of Arafah. Mashallah, we saw Malik ibn Dinar by the grave of the beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he couldn't understand. I know, I didn't go for Hajj. How is this possible that you guys have seen me? And wallahi, that night he went to go sleep. And in his sleep, he dreamt about Rasulullah. And sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of shaitan cannot take the features of Rasulullah. So if somebody sees Rasulullah, that you have really seen the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Nabi Muhammad asked him, Atadri man ana, do you know me? So he said, I don't know you. So Rasulullah said to him that I'm your beloved in this dunya, and I'm your mediator in this dunya and in the akhirah. This action, and Allah recognized the status of a Hajj, the Haji, a person that goes for Hajj, and this ibadah, there's no greater ibadah than a person being in this condition, this ibadah, and that's one of the reasons why the ulama deems this ibadah of Hajj so great, because it's not only an ibadah of spirituality, it's not only an ibadah of finances. Like zakah, we have to give zakah because it only consists of or entail of money. Then you get the ibadah of fasting is only consists of that, being in a state of not having food. But Hajj is a combination of all. And that's one of the reasons why the scholars deem that the Hajj to be the best of ibadah. Because it consists of spirituality, that it consists of finances. We're spending our money in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That every cent that you spend, Allah is going to reward us, Jama'at Muslimin. Wallahi. Whatever we invest, that Allah is going to give it back to us tenfold, hundredfold, subhanAllah. So it consists of finances, it consists of spiritual, it consists of physical. Certain ibadah, you need to be physically, you're going to walk. You have to walk, it's a lot of walking, ya Allah. So that's what it is. Physically, I need to be strong. Mentally, I need to be strong. So it consists of many components. So nevertheless, so Nabi Muhammad ﷺ said to him that Allah recognized this act of him giving and sharing and seeing to the needs and were prepared to forsake his Hajj. That Allah granted him the appearance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the malaika with this appearance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a malaika with the appearance of Malik ibn Dinar. And whenever the delegation went, that the Malak went with this appearance. And that's why people assume that it was Malik ibn Dinar. But it was not Malik, it was the malaika. Everybody knows the malaika can take the shape of a human being. And because of this noble act, the acceptance of a Hajj is an answer of Allah. And Nabi Muhammad then reminded him and said to him that Allah have granted the delegation that went for Hajj, Allah granted each and every person accepted Hajj. And Allah granted him 70 accepted Hajj. So we need to then have to ensure that the discipline of good conduct. And this is very important, Jama'ah. And I've seen it, unfortunately, that you find, and I make dua that never the guest that sits here, that you only think about yourself. We're on this journey together, really. Together we're on this journey. That we have to, we were walking, and so obviously we are on Arafah. So now the bus delayed, and so a lady needed a chair. And this Titi was standing, or this girl was standing with the chair, and I asked her, can you just borrow me the chair? This lady, she can't bend down, it's not appropriate for her to bend. So can you just give her a chair quickly? And I gave it to this woman, and she could sit down and tie her shoelaces, because we were standing in a queue waiting for the bus from Arafah. It's going to take us now to Muzdalifah. I will run down the whole process after that. So because the bus stop at Muzdalifah, then it's done. From there you have to walk. Nevertheless, so now this lady is tying her laces, and then the owner of the chair comes. This is on Arafah. And this owner is saying, where's my chair? I need my chair. Give my chair. I say, Ya Allah. SubhanAllah, you can't even borrow something so basic. Seeing to the service of the Hajj, you're on Arafah, the reward that the person gets on Arafah. And she was so abrupt and so disrespectful just for a chair. She could not even render the service of a chair for somebody to tie her laces. And I was just, SubhanAllah. Is that the objective of Hajj, Muslim? People were on Mina, and the guy says that I'm prepared to pay whatever it is. I don't want to stay in this place. I don't want to stay in this place. Because Allah tests us. Allah tests us that we have to sleep together. Allah tests us, you have to sleep on the ground. Allah's going to test us, you have to use like a bathroom being shared. Sometimes we have this perception that we're in Europe, but you're going to see there. You have to use that bathroom with our African brothers. And everybody are not the same how they use the bathroom. And I'm van ons weet, we like all of us, especially the males. Ek is ook baie specific when it comes to my bathroom. I prefer to have my own bathroom, not even wanting to share it with my children. But there it comes back to the nafs, Jamaat. It comes back to my disciplining myself. That I have to enter that bathroom. There's a possibility that bathroom might be dirty. But I have to clean it for the sake of Allah. And cleaning it and saying, Allah, any kibr in my heart, Allah, remove it. And I have to be humble for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have to remind myself all the time, I'm nothing. We are nothing without Allah. And that's what it is, Jama'ah. We have to train ourselves. I cannot have this kibr going on this journey. I cannot assume that I'm better than the next person. How can you do that? You can't. You're the guest of Allah. That's one of the greatest objective and purposes of Hajj. Allah wants to show us that we all are the same. We are the same in the eyes of Allah. There's no difference between black and white. There's no difference between rich and poor. There's no difference, Jama'at. And that's why we have to wear that garment that represents our kafan. Because the day that Allah is going to put us in our grave, and our family is going to put us in our grave, is nothing. 3 things will go with us. Our money was going to go with us. Our family is going to go with us. And our a'mal, our hajj is going to go with us. And the 2 will return, and only my hajj will stay with me. Only my a'mal is going to stay with me. That's all. Only my a'mal, jama'ah. And that's one of the greatest of lessons that Allah is teaching us, jama'ah, that equality, equalness, that Allah will only measure us on our taqwa and piety. That's only. That's what it is. That's a higher purpose and objective of this Hajj. I am absolutely nothing. I have to leave my status. I have to leave whatever it is behind. I am an absolute nothing. I'm a slave of Allah. And I'm dependent on Allah's mercy and Allah's rahmah. And Allah's going to measure me based on our taqwa and our piety. And that's the objective of every ibadah. The objective of fasting, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ زَادِ. Allah says that the person that prepared himself for this journey, like your honorable self, that the best of preparation and the best of supplies, Allah is saying that وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ زَادِ, the best of supplies, taqwa. That's what Allah is saying. And sometimes we have a tendency, jama'at, we depend on our money and our wealth, but we forget about this supplies of taqwa and spirituality and piety and working on our nafs. We have to work with our nafs. That I have to train my nafs. I have to train it. And if it is that I have to sleep on the ground for the sake of Allah, I have to do it. And all the time I have to compare myself to Rasulullah. If my Prophet ﷺ was laying on the ground and Umar ibn Khattab was seeing the marks on the body of Rasulullah, and Umar was crying and he said, Ya Rasulullah, you're the best of Allah's creation, the beloved of Allah. And the marks and all the kings sleeping on nice beds and silk bedding, and you the creation of Allah. What was the reply of Rasulullah? Umar, are we not happy that Allah have given them the dunya and Allah have given us the akhirah? It's about the akhirah, jama'ah. It's about our Jannah. So don't let this small, petty discomfort for only 2 days, 3 days for the most guys. 3 days of discomfort to what Allah have given us. Allah blessed us with wealth. Allah blessed us with good health. Allah have given us so much of khair in our life, and we cannot handle, we don't have the sabr, only for 3 days. Only for 3 days, jama'ah. We can't do that. We can't. And it's sad to see how people, because there were no training of spirituality. The training, even on Arafah. So khalas, let me just very quickly go through the process. So you're going to be on the airport. And from the airport already, anything can happen. You're going to have to stand in queues, the bathroom, even on the airport. Also important, jama'ah, that we're not in a Muslim country, we're using the bathroom with many other people. So I'm the representative of this deen of Allah. People will say, if I use the bathroom, I see what's wrong with the Muslims. So if I'm going to take wudu and I'm using a public with a lot of non-Muslim on the airport, I have to be cautious. You cannot expect now, I'm going to take a bath, I'm now so super pious, I'm going for Hajj now, and the guy is washing his face and me taking my shoes off and my socks and I put my foot in the basin. That's not ethical, number one. And now you're wetting this whole floor. It's not right. So the option that I'm giving you, that you can use your sock as a khuf. Okay? So we have in our fiqh, we have the mas'ala of the khuf. The khuf is, according to Shafi madhab, it's not a requirement, it must be a leather sock. But most of the time you see the guys wearing a leather sock. Okay? It can be any material. But the Shafi madhab says, it can even be a thick sock. So if we have, because all of us can't wear, ek kan nie a khuf dra nie, is a bit very tight and I can't really. So it's also sometimes not really practical. Sometimes maybe it's practical for the Jamaat guys, less practical, they go no. But for us, it's not really sometimes very practical. So my advice is to make it easy for you guys. You make sure the condition of wearing the khuf or the thick sock, so the condition of the sock, it must cover the area that I need to wash. The foot, so it must cover over my ankles. There should not be any holes in my khuf or in my thick sock. Then it can serve as a sock where I can make masakh on, meaning wipe. Because the most difficult part is always what? The washing of the feet. That's like a difficult part. Especially for the elderly and raising your leg, and especially for our females, it's very, very difficult. So nevertheless, so you take your wudu at home, like a proper wudu, by washing your mouth, or washing your hands, sunnah, mouth is sunnah, nose is sunnah, fard your face, and your arms is fard, your forehead is fard, and your feet is fard. And that's your sequence according to the Shafi madhab, which also then deems as fard. Then you make the intention, that you put on your socks, the thick sock, and you make the intention that I'm going to make masah, wipe on the sock. So if you're a traveler, then you're allowed to make masah, providing you're not going to remove your khuf, the sock. That you're allowed to make masah for 3 days on the sock. Understand? So if you find yourself at the airport, especially at the airport, and I nullified my wudu, then you can just go to the bathroom and wash your face and your arms, and just wet your hands, and just rub over your sock. Just so. Khalas, no problem. So it makes it's like very convenient, it's like very, very easy, especially for those that's on travel. So that's easy. Obviously, if you remove your sock, then your wudu is nullified, even though the 3 days of the timing did not expire. So if you remove your sock, if a person is in a state of janaba, meaning impurity, guy got a wet dream, then automatically also you have to remove the sock. Then the time, then your what's his name is also not, your wudu is invalid. So how do we determine the time of 24 hours? If I'm a non-traveler, 24 hours. So when does the time start? Anybody can tell me? The timing of the starting of 24 hours, when does it start? Does it start at the time I put on my sock? What do you guys say? It starts the time when you break your wudu. It does not start, the 24 hours does not start the time that you put it on. It starts when you break your wudu. So if you took a nice wudu at home, put your socks on, I didn't break my wudu, so it's like dhuhr time, and you only break your wudu like Isha time. So the 24 hours then starts from the waqt of Isha. So the waqt of Isha to Isha, that's 1 day. Following day, Isha to Isha, following day, that's your 3 days. After 3 days that you have to take it off, you have to take a fresh wudu all over again, then you can wear it again, and you can obviously, Makkah is easy, alhamdulillah, Madina is also easy. It's very hot, so obviously you want to obviously wash your feet in order to keep a nice. So nevertheless, then we're gonna, from the airport, keep yourself occupied. You're going to stand in queues. Make sure that you have a set goal for yourself. Put your goal. I had a goal for myself. I said to myself, my goal is, as long as I'm on travel, I need to recite 1 khatam. That was my goal. I need to complete the khatam in Madina. I need to complete the khatam in Makkah. And I have to make sure that I need to complete the khatam on Arafah. So that was my goal. And I was like really focused on my goal. I need to achieve my goal. So everybody have to put the goal based on your level of expectations. This is your Hajj. Just remember, it is your Hajj. You have to utilize the time to the best of your ability. That Rasulullah reminds us, this is a ibadah. And if a person travels, Rasulullah said, whoever travels to Makkah and Madina and Bayt al-Maqdis, that's the ibadah. So the other addition, like going for ziyarah, that's not really ibadah. That's merely sightseeing. Okay, mashallah, you can find, but do not occupy so much of your time outside than inside by being in Masjidul Haram, by being in the Haram, because I see what people are doing. They're using so much of their time and energy for sightseeing. But you need to keep your energy for the days of Hajj. Wallahi, that's very important. You have to be strategic. And I've seen, and unfortunately, some agents, they leave. We were in Azizia. So about 2 days, then we were supposed to go to Mina, the 8th of the Hajj. And then only then, the agent said, we're going to go for ziyarah of Jabal Thur. I said, how can you guys go now? So I told my wife, no, you can't go. We're not going to go. Not now. Imagine you hurt yourself now. You have to keep your energy and your strength for after 2 days. You have to prepare yourself physically, mentally. Wallahi, I was like in constant dua, Allah, don't let me become sick. Allah, let me be healthy. I was making that dua because anything can happen. I've seen it. People in Al Bayt, the lady just fell and she broke her hip, and they had to, wallahi, on Azizia. and they had to take her. The other guy twisted his ankle, and he was like in a boot, she had to wear a boot from palm. So I would just constantly making dua, Allah grant me good health, Allah don't let me be a burden for somebody else, because I've seen that. People don't care. People don't care, they don't worry about the elderly. And please, min fadlik, I'm begging your honorable Hajjis, please, if you can assist somebody, assist. Help. If you find somebody old and they need help them. Kalmala min fadlik. The one guy was walking, and he was like a group leader. And we were on our way to Palt the Jamara, Aqaba, and he was saying, and there's elderly people in wheelchair, they needed help, and people were really struggling, especially the elderly. And we said, no, my duty and responsibility stops here. My job is only to make sure that you guys, that you were present on Arafah, and after Arafah, I'm done. This is my Hajj. And he left. And he left. And 3 of our groups, elderly people, they got missing. And the one we only found him 3 days. 3 days after Hajj. The guy was missing, his wife was in a wheelchair, and he went and he came back in order to look for his wife. His wife was gone, he was gone. The only place that he knew, he went to Haram, and he stayed in a Haram for 3 days. And everybody's looking for him, and nobody could find him. And I've seen that, subhanAllah, that everybody just about nafsi, it really reminded me of the day of Qiyamah. Everybody just concerned about this. It's not a marathon, guys. It's a ibadah. Take your time. Breathe. Nobody can, it's not supposed to get lost. It's only one way. So you're going to go from the airport to Dubai. You guys go to Dubai? Qatar. And then from there, obviously now, to Madina. So Madina, they will check your passport. Madina, they will check all this various vaccines that you have taken. And it starts from there. You have to stand in long queues. You just have sabr. You don't get irritable, don't get edgy. You just stand, they have to do the job. Don't comment, don't say, these guys, what's wrong? Just you keep your calm. You're in the city of Rasulullah. And that's very important. You're in this beloved city that very soon you will see the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you need to prepare yourself. And you need to prepare yourself spiritually, mentally, that I'm going to stand in front of Rasulullah. And that's the first thing. So being in that's coming, and alhamdulillah, going through the terminal, and the bus comes, and you, Allah, you just find yourself in Allah, what a beautiful feeling, and reciting in the bus, salawat and bilawat Rasulullah, and you seeing the bus is like slowly moving in, and you can't wait. And you can't wait to go to our beloved Rasulullah. You just have to put down your bags, and you take a shower, put on your best, your top that you have, your best top, applying your perfume. And that's the first thing that we try to do. The first thing, ethically and adab-wise, that you have to go greet our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And being in Madina, mashallah, it's so nice. It's a very calm place, very nice place. And put goals for yourself. As the males, make sure, try to the best of your abilities to pray all your waqtus in Madina, in the masjid. That's what it is, Jama'ah. That when it's Fajr, allocate some time, you yourself and your wife, go before the time, before Fajr, very calm, very nice, sit outside, make your tahajjud with yourself. You can always, you don't have to go inside. So obviously outside on the mataf area, you can sit one side. We, myself, my wife was sitting outside, and we're just looking, waiting till, so you stay. So if you're going to go, work out your time properly. So you go before tahajjud, make whether it's an hour, and you only go back after the Salah of Duha. Okay? Because of our Rasulullah reminds us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have a haqq over us. And Allah have given us, Rasulullah mentioned a hadith, that Allah have given us the movement of our body limbs, movement of our hands, the movement. And because of this movement, technically, Rasulullah says in a hadith that we're supposed to give charity on every movement, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it that we can move our body. Wallahi Jama'at Muslimin. Just now, one of my students, he said his mommy, in the one eye, just became blind. Just one morning she woke up and she couldn't see. And they went to the doctor and said, they can't really find what's the reason why she went blind. Just like that. Young woman, 53 years old. 53. And now I understand the hadith where Rasulullah says that the movement of our body, Allah for haqq. And the haqq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of Allah is the one that gives us the movement and the health and the strength, that we're supposed to pay charity for every movement. So the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, but all of us are not by the means of giving charity. So Muhammad said, what serve as a charity, what serve as gratitude to Allah for our movements, by performing 2 rak'ahs, Salatul Duha. So after Fajr, so we perform our Fajr in Jama'ah. After Fajr, we recite the Quran. After Fajr, that we have this app also, the Wirdul Latif. You can, get it on your phone. Everybody can just type in Wirdul Latif. It's a specific wird and dhikr that we recite. Those of you that have it, mashallah. So you sit, no rush. No rush. That you sit in a haram, or you want to sit with your wife outside mataf, it's also fine. So a certain time I was sitting, and then afterwards with my wife, and we're just gazing, looking at the maqam of Rasulullah there. Ya Allah, we're just marveling and reciting our wird, and we're reciting salawat on the beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we stay till duha time, and we perform our 2 rak'ahs duha. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, whoever performs a 2 rak'ah duha, you can perform 2 rak'ahs, you can perform 4 rak'ahs, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guarantees for him an accepted Hajj and Umrah. So here we in this beloved city of Madina, and here's opportunity presented to us. No rush, we in ibadah. So I wait, and I perform my Salatul Duha, and after Duha, then you can go to your bait, you can have your breakfast, and you can take a break, a rest, and make sure that you return back again, being present for the Salah. We have to make, how does it make sense, Jama'ah, that we don't be in a city of Rasulullah, in a masjid of Rasulullah, we don't make Salatul Jama'ah. Is that possible? Is that possible? And we find people are, they're making Salah in the bayt. Yes, if you're not well, fine. But if you can work towards it, I must make. Some of the ulama even deem Salatul Jama'ah in a masjid, we're not even speaking about the mosque of the Prophet, in a normal masjid as wajib, a must. If you do not pray in a masjid, then you are liable for punishment. That's a madhab of the Hanbali madhab. Shafi said, no, it's not a must, far kifaya. But the point I'm trying to say, this is whose mosque? The mosque of the Nabi, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So shouldn't I try to the best of my ability to pray all my waqtus in the mosque of our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So that's my goal, Jama'ah. My goal is, I must pray all my waqtus in the mosque of the Prophet. My goal is, I have to work out my time. I go a few minutes earlier to the masjid, then I start reading. A few minutes after the salah is done, I stay and I again read. And that's the way that I might, and it's possible for me to complete my Khatam al-Quran, because that's my goal that I've set for myself, my target. This is the amount of juz that I need to cover in a beloved city of our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we will stay there. And alhamdulillah, there's a lot of sightseeing that you can make ziyarah of certain sightseeing, it's fine. Then from there, some of us stay 5 days, some stay 7 days. Then either we're gonna travel by train or by bus. My personal experience, I went with the bus previously, and this time I went with the train. Especially for the elderly, I will advise strongly go with the train. Because I need time. I don't want to cut away my time for traveling. Because I need the time for my ibadah. I need the time that I can utilize to be in a haram. And now I need my energy. So if I could avoid not traveling with the bus, then travel with the train, because of what's going to happen, and it happened. You're going to be in a bus, and the bus break down, and it happened to our Hujjaj also, the bus, but we left very early. We left, and so now you're tired, and you're uncomfortable, and we with the trains like, I think it's 1.5 hours. And it was, mashallah, it was so easy. So firstly, we're going to go because of the border, and that's the miqat. So you cannot, as a murid of Hajj, you cannot exceed the boundary without making an intention of, you're going to start with the Umrah. And that's called a tamattu'. So we have 3 possibilities of how I can perform a Hajj. I can either perform a Hajj ifrad. Ifrad is that I only come to perform Hajj, nothing else. I don't perform Umrah. So that means since from the time, the waqtu is already in now. The waqtu for Hajj is in now. So I can, if you make an intention now that Allahumma labbaik, and you have your clothing and you put your clothing on, Allahumma labbaik Hajj, you can be in a state of a Haji till the days that you complete being on Arafah and then pelting the Jamarat. So you can put your, that's the highest level of Hajj. You only perform Hajj and being in that particular state. The second, because Allah knows our weakness, that Allah gives us a possibility, I can come in the period of Hajj with the Umrah. But because of for this facilitation, I need to pay a penalty, a dam. And a dam is I need to slaughter sheep, and that's why that we pay. This dam is included in our package because of I'm using that facilitation of entering in the season of Hajj with the Umrah. And that's called tamattu'. So I will go, but it's called Bir Ali. So the miqat is Bir Ali. There's a masjid. You guys going to go. You can put your ihram in the hotel. You can already make your intention there. But most of us make our intention where? At the border by Bir Ali, at the miqat. So from the hotel, you put on your ihram. Now you prepare yourself. Obviously, you're not going to apply perfume. You're not going to apply. Be very careful. You're not allowed to put something on your head for the males. That's very, I've seen, it's very hard. And the guy was walking in a state of ihram, and he put the bag on his head. Inna lillah. I was like, Inna, but you have to pay a dam because of you putting something on your head. For us as males, we're not allowed to put something on our heads. So be very conscious. If you do any violation, that you have to stand for that violation, and that will have an impact on the acceptance of your ibadah. So what happened? So we go in a masjid and you perform your 2 rakat salah. And that salah is called the salah of ihram. It's sunnah to perform it. So you perform it to go inside and you make your niyat. It's an individual salah, it's not a jama'ah salah, it's individually. Make your intention and performing 2 rakats, salah for ihram, and I say Allah Akbar. You recite your Fatiha, you recite any surah that you want to recite, and the first rakah and the second rakah. After that, make your dua, ask Allah to make it easy for you, ask Allah the acceptance, and then normally the group they stand outside. So I'll exit from the masjid and you'll wait for the guys, and then together they will say Allahumma labbaik Umrah. So via these wording, automatically now you're in a state of ihram. Khalas. So the moment you have uttered those wording, making the intention, then you fast. Then you have to be very careful. You're not allowed to cut your nails. You're not allowed to apply perfume. You're not allowed, you cannot at any given time say ugly words. You have to have sabr. You have to keep your mouth. You have to be disciplined. Like with fasting, somebody's argue with you. What do you tell the person? In your sign, I'm fasting. I can't argue. And they're going to test you, Jamaat. Wallah, I promise you guys, they're going to test you. Ya Allah. So you're in that state, and now the talbiyah starts. The talbiyah starts, Allahumma labbaik, innal hajja wal umrata, and you guys, so going up and you're going down, driving, you're making this talbiyah all the time. And it's going to be very, very emotional, leaving the city of Rasulullah. Oh, that was, Ya Allah. That was very difficult. Bidding farewell to our beloved Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this beautiful city. And we don't know if Allah will grant us ever to return back to this holy city. But I shouldn't have regrets, Jama'ah. I shouldn't have regrets. That I must know that, oh Allah, that I have utilized most of my time. I've used my energy, so I have no regrets. Anything should happen to me now, alhamdulillah. I fulfilled my amana, I fulfilled my duty, that I've utilized my time in Madina to the best of my abilities. No regrets, alhamdulillah. So from there, so now on our way to Makkah. So if we're going to travel by train, alhamdulillah, it's very easy, very comfortable. That we sit in a coach and you can sit and eat and you can make your dhikr, be conscious that I'm in a state of ihram, be conscious that I'm in a state of this ibadah, and now going to Makkah. So I don't know what is your logistics. So because some people, our group, they went with the bus also. And we went with the train. So obviously we were ahead of time. So the first thing what they do, then at the at the train station, a bus will come. And it's not far from the train station in Jeddah. So, and then the bus will then take you, number one, firstly to the hotels. Okay, so you go to a hotel, you have ihram, it's allowed that you can take a shower. It's fine, it's not the issue. You take a bath, but providing you're not going to apply perfume, no soap. Make sure that you don't brush your hair, comb your hair, because any strands of hair, then you have to pay the penalty. So you have to be very, very, very disciplined. So either, just remember you guys are tired now. So what I've seen, so I prepared myself and my wife and the group, the guys that went with the train, and they were sitting in a foyer. Just remember sitting now at Maghrib time. And I went because I need to complete my ibadah. I'm in a state, I want to see the Kaaba now. And unfortunately I've seen, they were sitting in a foyer and they were waiting for the group. And the group only came 12:30 the night. So it's your call. I can't say and I can't tell you what you have to do. Some people prefer to go in with the group, but if you're going to go in with the group, nobody's going to, just remember it's so full and everybody's there. And then what? You just want the group leader to shout and to say Allahumma labbaik, that's all. But what about it's your first Umrah? And that's important for me. My first Umrah is unique. It's my Umrah. I would not want any distraction. My Umrah. Whether it's a group, there's something personal between me and my Rabb and my wife. So, and I said no. Alhamdulillah, it's easy. So we go, and I said no, I just want to do my ibadah done. Inshallah later, if it is that I want to go with the group, I can go. So we're not dependent on the group jama'ah. We don't need, yes, it's nice. We don't want to be, if it requires us to be part of the jama'ah, be with the jama'ah. That's fine. But you also have to have some time for yourself and for your wife. It's your ibadah. I don't want a distraction. Okay? And also you're tired and you want to do this ibadah finish. Now you have to sit there the whole time. Okay, fine, what are you going to do? And they were sitting, they traveled with us from 6 o'clock till 12:30, 1 o'clock. And they're tired and they're waiting for the group. So now the group comes, they have to unpack the bags, then they have to take a shower, then you have to meet, and then everybody collectively go down to the haram, and then what? And then you're going to do what we're doing. And you cannot, because the haram is not only for us alone, the haram is full. And everybody is like, if there's so many groups and there's so many group leaders and they're shouting and you can't even hear what they're saying. So Allah made this ibadah so unique. There's no specific wording that I need to utter whilst making the tawaf. So you guys don't have to be anxious, what do I need to say, what du'as I need to bacha, no. That's the least of your worry. You don't worry about that. You speak to Allah. Allah understands all languages. You make your own dua. It is your connection with Allah. Speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't say something, I understand Arabic because I studied Arabic. So I can say certain du'as, it's fine, I know the meaning. But what's the best dua? That comes from the heart. So why is it that you have to put yourself in this difficulty? You're making a dua in Arabic, but you don't understand what you're saying. And you're limiting yourself, what you want to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of you don't understand Arabic, and now you are forced. And after the guy shouting, then he said, Allah maghfir li, wa Allah forgive me, wa Allah grant me Jannah. Okay, me of us, awesome. What about us? Shouldn't you, because you don't understand Arabic, you're just shouting. Shouldn't you say, Allah forgive all of us, our sins, wa Allah grant us Jannah, wa Allah forgive our parents, right? It's a collective, but it's only saying, and we're saying Ameen only for him and not for us. So you have to be very careful, Jama'ah. So what happened? So it's not technical. It's not difficult. It's very easy. So where you guys staying? You're staying opposite the haram. So you're staying on the mataf, basically. You guys say world travel. I've seen, mashallah, very fortunate. That's on the mataf, ya Allah. So it's so easy for you. You're staying on the mataf. So a few steps close to Kentucky. On the right hand side, there's like Kentucky. there is the entrance only, they call it Bab al-Umrah, only for the Mu'tamirin. So any person with normal clothing, he cannot enter that gate. That gate is, so you can't get, how can, you can't, you don't need somebody. So everybody, they will tell you, go there, go there, go there, and you will see that all the Hajis, or all the Mu'tamirin, they go to that particular gate. So now you have to go through that gate. So the entrance, as you walk through the entrance, wallah, you can see vaguely, you see the Kaaba. Ya Allah, it's so nice, you're walking. And subhanAllah, just remember, there are certain times when Allah accepts our du'as. And amongst the places where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts our du'as is the first time you put sight on the Kaaba. My dua wat ek gesê gemaak het, maar ek gesê het, oh Allah, vir my vrou, listen na, Allah, ek wil nie nog 'n vrou hê nie, né? My wife had to force me to make that dua. So our du'as are mustajab. That's the time you're sitting your eyes on the Kaaba. So now guys, looking and you're going closer and you're walking to the direction of the Kaaba. Khalas? So now we're going to start the first part of your Umrah. And the first part of your Umrah is what? Your Tawaf. How many Tawaf do you make? 7. Where do I start? I start from where? From the Hajar al-Aswad. So the Hajar, in our times, there was like a line. So you will see a lot of congestion, people are standing there. Okay? So if you're on the mataf, so your counting does not start before that. It can only start from there. So from there, reaching the Hajar al-Aswad again there, that's 1. So you will see guys, on the far right in a corner, very close to the clock tower, you will see a beam. So that beam is in line with the Hajar al-Aswad. So that beam then represents, this is a line. So you have to make sure that you're behind that line. Okay? And you make behind that line, and now you make your intention. You make your intention, oh Allah, I'm starting my tawaf. Guys with me? Say it in English, say it in Afrikaans, if you want to say it, no problem. But you make your niyat, and now you start your 7 tawafs. Yes? So by the Hajj al-Aswad, you have to make istislam, by greeting. Okay? If it is that Allah have honored you, that is a possibility that you can touch the Hajar al-Aswad, mashallah. But touching of the Hajar al-Aswad, is it a must or is it voluntary? It's voluntary, sunnah. If I can touch it, I can touch it, right guy? But if I shove and push and hurt people to get and to fulfill something is sunnah, the hurting of my brother that's in a state of ihram, I'm in a higher state of spirituality in this state. Can I hurt somebody, Jama'ah? Can I shove? Can I push? Can I be angry? And you see that. People are aggressive, they're doing it, they want to get. So how can I fight and hurting somebody to fulfill something that is sunnah? So I'm not going to do it. So if it is at the cost that I must hurt my brother to kiss the Hajar al-Aswad and to fight, I'm not going to do it. Because hurting is haram. And it's sunnah to kiss the stone. So if it is that you can get opportunity to touch it, mashallah, khalas, Allah bless you really. If not, I didn't rush, I just on my own buzz, and I started making my tawaf, and I'm in my spiritual mode, and started making my dua, and I recited. And you move, and also be very careful. It's a lot of, so obviously, our females is very overwhelmed for them. Because the first time that you're in a space, and there's other males and females. I can remember my wife was like the first time, because it's like really overwhelms the crowd. And I had to tell her, calm her down. You know, she was worried, the guys are standing behind her, and she's standing in front, and it's like pushing and shoving. I said, khalas, you know, because of the also females are very conscious of, you know, avoiding somebody as a male standing behind you. So we're the protectors of our family. So I need to be conscious also, making sure that I cover my wife. And I have to protect, that's my purpose, why I'm going. So be careful, you know, all the time try to be, you know, your wife is standing in front of you, and you behind your wife. So if it is somebody, then you are the one that covers her. And that's the way that you're going to move. Okay, if you see crowd, try to avoid the crowd. Rather go, you know, far to avoid the crowd. Everybody are different guys. Wallahi, I've seen people are shoving and pushing. People are standing right there. and want to perform the sunnah, you're going to see, it's not everybody that's fortunate that went to a class and being taught. And no, people are just giving tickets and they come without knowing, without understanding. So nevertheless, so we're going to perform our 7 tawafs. So again, the first shawt is that's the first round, reaching the point of the Hajj line, again the beam in line with the Hajj al-Aswad. That's my first one. Second one, stop, my first one is done, starting with my second one. Also have a counter, something that you can, because sometimes you forget, hey, how many rounds did I make now? That happened to me also. My vrouw says 5 and ek says 6. Ya Allah, how many rounds did I make? So if it is that you are confused, the Rasulullah says that you have to build on the least. So I have to say 6 or 5. Khalas, 5. But the problem is, maybe it's like 6 and I crowd, I can't no kosum. Because it's like very intense. Imagine now you're making your tawaf is a waful wida and a tawaf, what's his name, ifada, and I just crowd and he's confused. Did I make 3 or did I make 5? You want to get your ibadah, you want to finish your ibadah. So you can't really, for something so simple, but it costs you, your energy. And so be careful. So try to take something with you where you can just make sure that, okay, fine, 1 round is done, second round is done, third round is done, alhamdulillah. So after, so completing the 7, you must complete the 7 again by the Hajr, the line. So after the completion of that line, so you then, on the other side is the exit or the entrance for the sa'i. You guys don't have to stress, it's in English also, okay? So if you're gonna move, then you move on the side. Don't move in a crowd. You have to move out. Okay? So if you're moving out, slowly say, okay, fine, there is, khalas. Then you move and you find yourself the exit point, what's his name? From the mataf. And now we're going to the next ibadah, and that's the ibadah of the sa'i. What means, Mashayikh? It is sunnah after my tawaf, it's sunnah to perform 2 rak'ats at Hajr, at Maqam Ibrahim. So the Maqam Ibrahim, it's virtually impossible. It's crowded. It's not going to make sense. So if I cannot make 2 sunnahs at the Maqam Ibrahim, I can make it anyway in the Haram. So at the moment you exit and there's some space, you make your 2 rakats and your wife make your 2 rakats, and then now you're going to the next ibadah. And the next ibadah is to complete my Umrah, and that's the sa'i. The sa'i, ya Allah, the sa'i was the most challenging part for me because of the distance you have to walk. So number 1, we start from, Allah mentioned in the Quran, Inna Safa wal Marwa. Allah mentioned Safa and Allah mentioned Marwa. So I start from Safa. So it's like from Safa to Marwa, that's 1. Okay, Mashayikh? There again, there's no specific ibadah. There's no specific utterance. I can say whatever it is. You want to make dhikr, you make dhikr. Recite salawat, you recite salawat. You want to recite Quran, you recite Quran. But be focused. You are in a state of ibadah. In fadli. Don't take selfies at that time. Don't take selfies and photos when you're doing your ibadah. It's almost like somebody praying. Because Nabi Muhammad described the tawaf like somebody making salah. Same conditions. I must be in a state of tahara, my clothing must be clean. So how can you, in your salah, it's almost like you're taking out your phone and you take a picture of yourself. How does that make sense? And you find people are making this tawaf in the state of ibadah and they're taking pictures. That's not the time now for pictures, Mashayikh. We are doing our ibadah. I'm in a state of ibadah. The only thing that's permitted and allowed for me to do, I can speak. But other than that, I cannot. I'm in ibadah. So please, I will ask you very nice, please stay away from taking pictures. And I see people are taking pictures and taking videos. Not now. It's not the time now. You have to complete your ibadah to the best of your ability. Then you start from Safa to Marwa. So there are certain places which is sunnah. We call that is the ramal. Only for the males and not for the females. So there's a light. And the light will show your area that you just jog. If you can manage to jog, just remember you guys are tired because you're traveling, ya Allah. And the Safa, subhanAllah, it was like really challenging. So you have to, so 1 Safa to Marwa, that's 1. Marwa to Safa, that's 2. Safa to Marwa, 3. And that's the way that you complete your 7. So then be on the soft Marwa, you be by Marwa, and you will exit. Take with you a small scissor and like something where you can put in your hair. Okay? You don't cut your own hair because you're in a state of ihram. That's very important. Your wife can cut her hair, your hair, and you cut your wife's hair. So either you can cut it there, so if you exit and on the side, because now you're done, the only thing that you have to do, you're still in a state of ibadah, you're still in a state of ihram because you did not follow yourself, right? In a way that you follow yourself is by the cutting of the hair. So you can cut your hair, a few strands, you cut your wife's hair, and your wife in return cut your hair, now you follow. And it's a sunnah, Rasulullah said, Allah bless those that shave off all the hair. And so the Sahabi asked the Prophet, Allah, what about those that shorten the hair? The Prophet again said, Allah bless those that shave the hair. And the Sahabi asked the Prophet, Allah, what happened to those that shorten? They don't shave, they short. So again, only after the third time, Rasulullah said, and those that shorten the hair. So the emphasis here, if you can shave, shave. MashaAllah. Why? Because the Prophet have done it. So any ibadah, what we do, try min fadlik, to the best of your ability, to follow Rasulullah. Allah sent down this great personality, Rasulullah, as a uswatun hasana, as a sublime example. We don't only follow Rasulullah in our salah, but we follow Rasulullah on all our activities. And Nabi Muhammad said that pray like I pray, perform my Hajj like I perform my Hajj. So if it is that the Prophet shaved his hair, then I'm going to try. It's not fard, it's a sunnah, it's not fard. But I'm going to try. I want to be like Rasulullah. And I shave my hair. So you cannot shave your hair. In the past it was like shops outside, but now you have to walk outside. And obviously the time you're going to be very tired, you want a cup of tea. So outside there's like a area that you can buy coffee, and there's also people that will shout. Those of you that want to shave your hair, you can come and you can go outside. The barbers is outside. Salima, kifha, alhamdulillah. The males said they want specifically only, there's a class only for the males. No, I'm joking. We can come. I don't know, we can go that side also, it's not a problem. It's easier. Okay, then is there like the facilities for females that side? Can a female, they can come here, Malima, if it's okay for them to come here. Otherwise the man is humble, they can sit on the floor. They prepare themselves now already.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, khalas, we'll still continue. I will also sit on the floor. Yeah, we can still continue. Khalas. So now, after you have
The ladies can come sit.
yeah, khalas, but ladies too close to me, they must have, but there's one shade to the back, there's two here. Khalas, just on the side, yeah, there, they can. Khalas, yeah, fadda. One side. It's fine. So, yeah. So once I've cut my hair, now my Umrah is done. Alhamdulillah, I've completed one Umrah. It's so simple, Jamaat. And sometimes people make it over technical and over complicated. It's a very basic ibadah. It's all about, I need to make my seven rounds. I have to make my tawaf, my sa'i. And after completion of my sa'i, I have to cut my nails, my hair. And khalas, the ibadah of Umrah is done. MashaAllah, it's done. This is the Umrah that I've done. So the Umrah is khalas, done. That will be your first Umrah. You can do multiple Umrahs, it's not an issue. In order to do multiple Umrahs, we have to go to Tan'im. They don't call it Tan'im anymore, they call it the Masjid Aisha. So there's two options. Either you can take a bus, or you can take a taxi. It's about, Allahumma salli, I think it's about 50 riyal that you pay You can club. If it's a couples that you guys, khalas, there you go. So it's based on your pace, based on what your intention, based on the goals that you set for yourself. If it is that you have set the goal for yourself that every day I'm going to perform a Umrah, ahlan wa sahlan. That's what you, alhamdulillah, the young people, they can do it, mashallah. They have the energy to do it. But the elderly, we don't have. Okay, so but sometimes it's going to be very challenging for us. And it's going to be also very hot. So you have to use the convenient time that's appropriate for you. So convenient time, so I was like watching, middle of the night, is the haram empty? The haram don't get empty, guys. It's not going to get empty, I'm telling you now. Whether it is 1 o'clock, whether it is 2 o'clock, whether it is after Maghrib, it's always full. So what I prefer, so you manage your time in terms of that you want to be in the haram close to the Kaaba for a waqtu. So what I did, because they don't allow, if you don't have your ihram on, your clothing, then we as males, we have to make salah on top. And you have to make salah on the side. But the moment you have your ihram on, to allow you to be in front of the Kaaba and on the mataf. So then strategically, I plan, okay fine, I'm going to go for Umrah, so say 2 o'clock, Fajr is about 4 o'clock. So then I will go to Tan'im, Sayyidina Aisha, take a taxi, so that's the miqat, okay, by the miqat, in a masjid, exactly the same that I did in Madina. I perform my 2 rakat salah. After completion of my 2 rakat salah, I make my intention, Allahumma labayk umrah. Wa Allah, I make an intention of performing another umrah. Okay? So can I make another umrah? Can I make an umrah on the ruh of my father, the ruh of my family? So that's the ibadah. Like I've given charities, that many of the ulama says, like I do a charity, Allah accept the charity on the ruh. According to the Shafi madhab, you're allowed even to fast on somebody that passed away. That even allowed to slaughter a sheep on my parents that passed away. So also, according to the Shafi madhab, I can perform this ibadah on the soul. So I said, okay fine, this umrah, I will do it. For example, Allah have taken away my son, so I will make the intention that Allah, this umrah is on his soul, on his ruh. So we can also do that. So you can then work out, okay, this umrah is for myself. This umrah is for my parents. This umrah is for my grandparents. And that's the way that we can repay back our family and our parents. Okay, so what I did, then making sure, so I will come in very close to the waqtu. So coming in, so automatically, again, on the mataf, and the only place that I can enter is via the door of Bab Umrah. The moment you're in a state of ihram, you enter there. And they will allow you to enter again in that particular, so every time. Performing a Umrah, you're going to go where? Bab Umrah. Guys with me? And they will allow you freely. Any person coming with any other clothing, you're not allowed to go. So the Bab Umrah is then automatically on the mataf. And it's on the ground, and you will see the Kaaba in front of you. And that's why many times the guys put on ihram. We're not going to go in the old debate now, can I put ihram, knowing that I did not perform Umrah and I'm putting on my ihram because what? I want to be in front of the Kaaba. I don't want to make salah there, salah here. I made the intention being in front of the Kaaba. In actual fact, I did it. I will say, no. I'm going to put on my ihram. So sometimes, waqtu time, you're not going to debate the whole issue now, so it's not allowed. In actual fact, one of the Buddhas, he was on our bayt, and so he was like very angry. How can people go knowing they're not performing a Umrah and they're putting on the clothes? Yeah, this is so wrong. And he was like, so he's speaking to me. So obviously you don't know me. And he said, yes, I've seen a fatwa to ask for a fatwa from the MJC. Not knowing, I'm also on the fatwa board of the MJC. And I got this question. So I said, Uncle Sulaiman, it's you that asked this question. So nevertheless, but fine. So what I did, I'm not saying you must do it, it's your choice, it's up to you. But from a fiqh perspective, it's permissible, it's up to you. Because of that is the limitations and the conditions that the Saudis have. Allah didn't put that limitations there. Allah said the Kaaba is for tawafin, people that can make tawaf. For those that want to ziyarah, those who want to sit in front of, so there's no restrictions and limitations in terms of the Sharia. There's no. They have put down these limitations, and that's what it is. So, khalas, I'm not breaking the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I just wanted to be, so I put on my ihram, and because of the state of ihram, automatically I'm allowed to enter in the door of Bab Umrah. And I find myself being in front of the Kaaba. So if you really go for Umrah, then you enter that door and you find yourself for a waqtu and performing your Umrah at the same time. Mashaykh with me? So, everybody understand? Anything else quickly before I continue? Khalas. So, you have to, even you guys that your bait, I've seen, we had to come, on the other side, the Anjum side, it's very close to the new section. So when we had to come in and on the mataf, what I've seen, that it gets so full, that even you guys that stays opposite, just hears your bait or your towel, on the mataf, you guys were struggling to get in. And even to get, people are sitting right in front of your hotel's door. So it becomes really full, so you have to manage your time properly. You cannot expect to go 5 minutes. No, you can't. It's never going to work. Cannot take that out of your mind. You have to manage your time properly. You have to work out a plan that's going to work for you. Everybody are different. So some people prefer morning. Some people prefer after Asr. So I will say, okay, fine. I go in the morning, early hours. I stay in the haram. I perform my Umrah. I still stay after Salatul Duha. I read whatever I need to read. I spend my time. And then after Salatul Duha, I perform my Salatul Duha. And then I go to my bayt and I take a break. And I take a rest. And I'm making sure. So what I've also noticed is sometimes, okay, you guys stay opposite. But for us, it was like very hot. So to walk in that weather and then to pray. So you just pray and you find very few people, like basically in terms of the afternoon, because it's very, very hot. So we used to manage in the time again after Asr. So after Asr, staying, preparing yourself, take your machi, take whatever with you, take a few days, a lot of water, take some sweets with you, because you're going to stay in a haram. That's your purpose. Why are you there? Your purpose that I need to be in the haram. The ibadah, performing in the haram, is how many reward the guys get? Hadith of Abdullah Rasulullah, over 100,000 thawab in reward. Then the person that prays in Madina, lesser reward. The person prays in Bayt al-Maqdis, lesser reward. So do not deprive yourself of this opportunity and blessing and reward. My purpose, every waqtu, I must pray in the masjid. I must. There's no ways. Okay? My advice, yes, there's time for shopping. You first fulfill your duty and the purpose why you came. Allocate, your females are almost no different. So you allocate work now. So okay, fine, you're going to allocate a day or two for shopping, but not now. Leave that at the end. So what happened? You're going to stay, and alhamdulillah, you work out a plan that works for you. Then you guys are also moving to Azizia. How many days you spend in Azizia? 5 days. So some stay 5, some stay 3. We stayed about 4. So, Oh, 3-week package. Oh, you guys are coming in already, it's full, eh? Wallahi, I've seen it. The moment when it becomes like the first of the Hajj, it gets just full. So, it's going to be very challenging for you guys here. So nevertheless, from Makkah, most of us go to Azizia. So Makkah is like 5-star, Madina is nice star, mashallah, food. Azizia are different. So please don't have any expectations. Because I've seen that one guy was sitting in a bus and he was sleeping and he said, Inna, wat is die? So he's like a shocker. Wallahi, the guy was shocked. The guy was angry. They was so angry. Because what is die? So just prepare yourself. I'm telling you now, don't expect anything. Azizia, it's not total. And unfortunately, if they would have informed us before the time, then people like psychologically prepare themselves. But now they didn't tell the guys. So the guy go to Azizia, Ya Allah, what, Ian, you like this place. So on Azizia, we work as a group, as a family, because Azizia, the whole group meets in Azizia. In Makkah and Madina, you're on your own bus. There's no real hall. You're just doing your own thing, your own ibadah. But when it comes to Azizia, that all of us are together. So what's going to happen now? All of us are going to eat together. That you have your own room. Some of you have couple room, most of you have couple room. Yeah, please, if you can manage a couple room and you're married, please take a couple room. I've seen the guys that didn't take couple room. Ya Allah, was sitting in the foyer and he's trying to, I was coming in, I said, why are those guys sitting in? I was going to masjid. I see this guy talking to his wife the whole time here in the foyer, and I couldn't understand why, what's happening. Didn't look nice. Then I discovered, and I told me, no, Sheikh, they married and they didn't have a couple room. So there was no like a date, no that. They were sitting and talking the whole time. So Aziziyah can make a person, because there's no haram, there's no Kaaba. And what I've noticed, you can lose yourself in Aziziyah. So your spirituality can drop in Aziziyah. Now people are becoming comfortable, and because Aziziyah is away from the haram, you have to take a bus or take a taxi, and even taking a taxi to the haram, it becomes like really very difficult in the period of Hajj. They will drop you very far and you have to walk in. It's like sometimes become very difficult. And myself, I went myself, my wife from Aziziyah, like 1 or 2 days. I didn't see the haram, and wallahi, seeing the haram I felt so nice, and seeing the Kaaba, you just cry, subhanallah. So you're going to stand Aziziyah for that period of time there. That's a few days prior to the actual timing of Hajj. That's vital. The days prior to being on Mina, so you're going to stay there either 3 days, 4 days. You have to use your time to the best of your abilities. I don't know how they're going to structure in terms of that's the time. Yes, they make dhikr, they give nasiha, but that's the time. My personal opinion, I would ask from the leaders to reinforce again the fiqh. Now you need the fiqh, because now you need to know the rules. So they need to refresh, because of now you need to know, okay fine, Arafah, okay fine, the combining salah, where do I combine my salah, what happened, the shortening of the prayer, what happened if I missed my pelting, what happened if I only pelted the Aqaba and I didn't pelt the others, the issue of staying on Mina, the timing I need to stay on Mina. So from there, the actual ibadah of Hajj, that's your Hajj. It starts from there. So what happened, normally it's sunnah to leave, to go to Mina on the 8th, and that we call the day of Tarwiyah. So the day of Tarwiyah, that's the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. That's sunnah. Arafah is on the 9th, always on the 9th. So the day of Tarwiyah, so Aziziyah, it's very close to Mina. But for the elderly, it's like steep, because of you have to walk. Yeah, you have to walk far, you have to walk to your camp. Sort of camp is a bit, we can manage walking, but for the elderly it's very, very challenging. So you have to walk. So the bus will take you from Aziziyah and will take you to the tents, and then the challenge comes in, and that is on Mina. So Aziziyah, guys, it's just you stay in a room. It's not, the mattress are different, it's not a hotel. Also, sometimes, most of the times, the drains are blocked because of you're not allowed to use toilet paper. So everything is different in Aziziyah. Just bear that in mind. It's only for that period there. So you go from there, you go to Mina, and that's the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. So the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, you arrive at Mina the night. And so it depends what time they take you. So you can even walk also. So we were waiting long for the bus, but then we could have just walked. Nevertheless, so we came the middle of the night on Mina on the 8th. The following morning is obviously the day of Arafah. So we came there about 2 o'clock and we couldn't sleep because of now you're anxious. On Mina, it's like a mattress. It's like, it opens up, but it's just like a very slim mattress, just like the size of me, the size of and you will lay next to your Hajj, next to you, just next to you, because there's no space. And so prepare yourself, so that's on Mina. Everybody's going to sleep in a tent. If you see a aircon, sleep close to the aircon, guys. so on a tent, they give you a bedding, not a bedding, a piece of linen, and it's a pillow. Don't carry heavy stuff. Please don't take stuff with you. Please, you're making your life very miserable because you have to carry it. So you're going to be there. Obviously, some of you might be able to sleep or not. I couldn't sleep, so it was Fajr morning. So Fajr morning, perform your Fajr. They have a group program. Obviously, we have to sit with the group to make the dhikr. Then that's the morning of the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. Okay? And then about an hour after Fajr, we had to leave. So now from Mina, you will leave to Arafah. Guys with me? From Mina to Arafah is not far, but we normally have to wait for a bus. Just remember, you guys in the state of Ihram, make sure the way that you sleep also, guys, be conscious, because you're sleeping with other men. Slaap maar so, and Anya sleeps so, and be very conscious. I had to tell the guy, Uncle, Kanala man, close your legs. And one guy was putting something on the head. I said, Kanala, you can't put something on the head. So people are sometimes very unmindful. So be conscious, because your unmindfulness will cost your Hajj, and will diminish the status of your Hajj. And so from there, say the morning is very close, we reach Arafah about 10 o'clock. So now on Arafah, Ya Allah, on Arafah it's just like it's a piece of land. Now they have tents, like a huge, say the tent is like this. So this tent is only for this group. So we will stay in this tent. Similar, there's like a thin mattress. Some of them say, okay, fine, put the mattress one side, and everybody have to sit in that particular tent, and you have to stay in that tent. It's very, very hot. It's about 45 degrees. Yeah, it's very, very hot. So there also, there's no people's going to complain. There's no proper aircon. Just remember, prior to our time, there was no tents. When our parents went, there was absolutely nothing. I went 1999. We had to erect our own sheeting, and we had to sit there. There was no aircon, so don't get annoyed and don't argue because if they say aircon. If there's no aircon, khalas, qaddarallah ma sha, that's what it is. So you will stay in a tent. Sometimes your spiritual leaders or the group have certain programs for you. Just remember, be part of the program, but it is your Hajj. You also have to allocate time for yourself and for your wife, because the women will be one side and the men will be in the tent on their own. Fadla.
Sorry, so all the ladies, we split with them, we will leave Mina.
So no, yeah, on Mina, the bus will come, and the bus then will take us to Arafah. Okay? So we're in the same bus, I'm with my wife, no problem. So on Arafah, the males will be in one tent, and the females will be in a different tent. Okay? So what will happen? I then wanted time with my wife. So I was sitting, and just remember that the waqtu of Arafah is not in. It's not yet in. So don't tire yourself out that time. The actual waqtu is in when? Arafah only counts when? After Zawal. That's the waqtu. That's the acceptance. That's the time that you have to exert yourself. That's the time Nabi Muhammad ﷺ was standing and was staying and was outside praying till Maghrib time in the sun. Rasulullah ﷺ. So if you can rest prior to Zawal time, Dhuhr time, then rest. Save your energy for Zawal time, after Zawal. Then you need your energy. So I have seen people drain themselves, and when it comes to the time for Zawal, after Zawal, Arafah, the Mubarak time, they're tired. And they get tired, and they sleep, and Ya Allah, guys, this is a lifetime. Allah is gazing at us, Allah is looking at us, Allah is saying to the Malaika, see my slaves have traveled from Cape Town, see the dust, see the struggles they went through, and see the hairs ruffled, and see the clothing, and Allah is bragging and boasting by the Malaika, and Allah is forgiving each and every person that's on the plains of Arafah. So there's no proper toilet facilities on Arafah. Prepare yourself. There's no. Mina is still updated toilet facilities, but not to our standard. Obviously, our standard was no different, and you have to use it publicly with everybody. And Arafah, it's just like a roofing, and there's a door, but it's like almost a stable, man. It's like open, and there's a hole. There's no chain, nothing. You have to make sure that whatever you do in that hole, there's a pipe, a hose. That hose, that's your stinja pipe. That same pipe you have to use even to wash yourself. Wallahi. So I was on Arafah, and this lady, her husband passed away now, and she was like complaining, on Arafah, the toilets, and I had to remind her, Auntie, we are on Arafah. You have to be careful what you're saying. This is Arafah. If it is that I have to use that toilet for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah keeps away all the balas from me and Allah grant me acceptance, I'm going to do it. If it is that I'm sick and I'm going to have to clean that toilet for the sake of Allah, that Allah remove my sickness, I'm going to do it. Because Arafah, Allah accept our du'as. Arafah, Allah change our condition. Arafah. So don't moan, don't groan. And so it's all about the mindset. So going in that toilet, the first thing that I did, and looking, obviously, everybody knows how the toilet look. So there's a lot of sand. So I took the hose and I washed it off. That's the first thing that I did. I washed it and cleaning the area. You guys can sit on the chairs at the back. Yeah, and it's very challenging for the elderly. Just remember, there's no toilet facilities that we have. All is the flat. Most of the toilets is all flat toilets. Okay, so you need to prepare yourself. You have to, the technique of how sitting, and sometimes it's very challenging for the females, and how the females using this flat toilet. There's no other toilets. It's no use you're going to complain about it. It's no use you're going to slander the Saudis, can't they change the toilets. Just remember, they're only using the facilities of Arafah for how many hours? Say, make it 5 hours. That's all. Only 5 hours. So that's a challenge for most of our Hujjaj, that using the bathroom because there's no proper facilities. And so I clean it, and then even it's very hot, so you just go inside the tent, come outside, you're sweating. Then wallahi, uqsim billah, I'm not exaggerating, it is very hot. You have to take that same hose and you have to wash yourself with that hose. Obviously you cannot apply perfume. You can't take off your ihram, just hanging on there. And even if your ihram is wet, you just leave, then it's dry again because it's so hot. So take a bath, just cool yourself off with that hose, khalas, and then obviously if you exit from the bathroom, and we're just speaking about on Arafah, where the bathroom facilities is not really to our standard, it's like really underground females. So don't lose yourself. You constantly remind yourself for the purpose why you're here. I'm not here for the holiday, I'm here because of our ibadah. And I'm going to try to the best of my ability to perform this ibadah to the best in pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if it is that I have to use this flat toilet for the sake of Allah, I have to do it. That's what it is. If it is that I have to clean the bathroom, I'm going to clean it for the sake of Allah. I'm not doing it for name and fame. I'm doing it for the pleasure of Allah. That's what it's all about, Allah. So, and people lose it. And I've seen how people are losing it on Arafah because of, it's very hot. Make sure that you carry a lot of water with you. What happened to us? So we stayed on Arafah. So after Zawal, that's the allocated time that Arafah starts. That's the waqtus in of Arafah. So that's the time that you make your du'as. That's the time that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whatever you want to ask. That Allah accept and Allah guarantee acceptance of our du'as on Arafah. So be careful what you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask for good health. Ask Allah grant us extension of life and obedience of Allah and His Rasul. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preserve our family and our children. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us good umrah. So ask Allah to grant us good health. That we need the energy and the health because of we still have to perform the other rituals and ibadah. So being on Arafah, allocate some time for yourself. So what I did, I spent some time with the group. Then I needed time for myself. Then I left. So it was like, like the size of this hall. And I just went outside and I got myself a piece of cardboard. And I went under shade tree and I sat. And I reflected on my journey. Me and myself and Allah. And I made my du'as that I wanted for myself. And then I called my wife. And then we went one side, we're looking for area that only the two of us. So we're sitting, it's your moment, it's your wife. There's special du'as that you guys have to make. You want du'a, make du'a for your family, make du'a for your children, Ya subhanallah, so you cry in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're making dua. It's also sunnah, Nabi Muhammad ﷺ allocated some time where Rasulullah was standing in the sun. And Nabi Muhammad was raising his hands, Rasulullah ﷺ was supplicating, and he was standing and standing, making dua for his ummah, Ya Allah. And the Sahabas assumed that Rasulullah was like fasting, because he was standing from this afternoon till the night. And Abu Bakr anhu, and he was begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Bakr brought our beloved Rasulullah water. So they wanted to show that Rasulullah was not fasting. And that was Nabi Muhammad exerting himself. So we also have to exert ourselves once. Arafah. So don't be tired. Don't lose yourself. Don't be irritable. Don't be angry. This is the best time that you have to show akhlaq, be respectful, be considerate. Because I see people, everybody are different. People get annoyed. It's hard. It's hard. They're complaining it's so hard. There's no aircon, it's so hard. Ya Allah, guys. So what? Allah made it hard. What must I do? Don't complain. Please, don't complain on Arafah. Don't complain. And so then also on Arafah, there's the Jabal Rahmah. Okay, that's full. People go early. If you want to go to Jabal Rahmah, ahlan wa sahlan. You can. If you want to stand from a distance, you can stand from a distance and look at Jabal Rahmah. MashaAllah, it's like very nice. People are standing, subhanallah. And you're part of this global ummah of Rasulullah. Allah is showing to us that all of us are the same in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that not our status, it's not our money. The only thing that Allah looks at our hearts. The only thing that's important for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our taqwa and piety. That's what it is. That's a measurement that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will measure us the level of our taqwa and piety. So and make khidmah. And I've seen a jama'at that people even struggle to share water. So we were on Arafah, and normally it's sunnah. So from Arafah, we go now to Muzdalifah. Ask Malima Salima, Muzdalifah was like a shocker for everybody. Ya Allah, subhanallah, it was like really. So from Arafah, the bus is supposed to be there. So again, it's out of your control. You can't get angry. Ask, where's the buses? Why is the Muassasas not bringing? What's wrong with the Saudis and the guys are fighting? Why are you doing this to yourself? Rasulullah described traveling as a portion of the fire of Jahannam, meaning it's going to be difficult. It's out of your control. If the bus delays, it delays. You can't do anything about it. Why are you getting angry? You use your time to the best of your ability. Make your dhikr, make your ibadah, occupy yourself. That's what it is. So our bus came, Ya Rabbi, it was like very late. I think a bus came, Fajr was 4 o'clock, 4:15. The bus came about 2 o'clock or 2:30. So now 2:30. So now the bus will cart you to Muzdalifah. That will be the end of your bus drive. After that, next meer bus drive, then it's only walking. Okay? You're gonna walk. Yeah, may Allah grant you the strength, inshallah. Ya Rab. Yeah.
Is that now on the 10th day?
So on Arafah, so we the 9. So just remain in terms of Islamic day, the night precedes the day. So we already, so it's the 9th day, the night is already, we are Mina, right? So it's a day of Arafah, and then after Maghrib, it will be then the 10th, and that's like the night of Eid. Guys with me? So according to the fiqh, it is sunnah to make my Maghrib, to delay my Maghrib and perform my Maghrib in the waqt of Isha. And I perform my Maghrib where? On Muzdalifah. It is sunnah. Guys with me? Sunnah. So what I have seen, so because of the fiqh that I had, it made my life a bit easy for me. So I could see, Inna Lillah, the bus is delaying. And I could see, knowing, because I went for Hajj already, Muzdalifah is like just a piece of land. Just see people laying. Wallahi, people are laying. And I've seen when I arrived at Muzdalifah, there's one girl, but she from Joburg, she got anxiety. The other one was saying, I need a doctor. So I had to tell her, Auntie, no doctors now. And there's no doctors. You cannot become sick here now. Because of people like, oh wow, what? People are just lying. And now, what happened? So we still have to pray. You have to pray what? Maghrib and Isha. And females bin fadlik. Please try to avoid the bathroom, using it. I didn't even see a bathroom on Muzdalifah. I don't know, Ya Allah. So many people, everybody's lying, according to the Shafi madhab, that our duration being on Muzdalifah, that we are allowed to move after the middle of the night. So technically, the bus is supposed to come, we're supposed to arrive at Muzdalifah by Maghrib time. Right guys? So just after Maghrib, we pray Maghrib in the waqt of Isha, and we stay there. Meaning you have to lay down and relax and reflect and stay. Technically, the sunnah of Rasulullah, we have to stay till Fajr. Even though the Shafi madhab allows us to move. If you're healthy and there's no need for you to move, don't move. You stay till Fajr time. It's your Hajj. Why? Because my Prophet stayed till Fajr. Even though, according to the Hanafi madhab, they have to stay till Fajr. Hanafi. You guys have to stay. You will see the Hanafi, so this lady was so anxious and she was Hanafi. And she missed the group. And she was alone. Only woman, and she was like, it's obviously because of South Africa, and she was speaking English, and she was panicking, she missed the group. I mean, how could I leave this lady alone? So I said to her, no, come with us. And so because of that situation, I had to tell her, make taqleed to the Shafi. Because of this lady can't be alone. And the group is gone. So I said, come with us, auntie, don't stress about it. Inshallah, make taqleed. So if you can manage, and especially the youngsters, min fadli, don't look for loopholes. I wouldn't say loopholes. If you can try to do the Hajj to the best of the model of Rasulullah. Keep in mind Rasulullah. Yes, there's a possibility I can leave early, but Rasulullah didn't leave. Nabi Muhammad stayed. Nabi Muhammad allowed the elderly and people that's not well, you guys go. But if I can manage and I want to exert myself, it's afdal, it is better you stay on Muzdalifah till Fajr. Guys with me? So, yes.
Also, according to the Sunnah, until what time you stay in Arafah?
Fajr. No, on Arafah, obviously, because of we need to leave the buses, so it depends what time the buses come. So we perform, normally the buses get, so say by Maghrib time, so Maghrib time they take you, and you will pray Maghrib in the waqt of Isha. So that time you stay on Muzdalifah. So it all depends on logistically what time the buses come. So by Maghrib time, basically. So you will even see by Maghrib time, they will start clearing up Arafah. And we stayed, and there was no water. And the guys, they took away the fridges, and we were the only people staying on Arafah. And we were scouting around for water. Ya Allah, we were looking for water because it's so hot. And we were looking for water, and then all the other guys were gone. And from the group, guys had to go in different camps in order to collect water, and they brought water for us. Something so basic. And people are wasting. I've seen it on Mina, people are wasting food, people are wasting water, and there Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us. So what I did, so I saw that I will be late, or the bus will come, and it happened, Jama'ah. The bus came, we arrived at Muzdalifah, say about 4 o'clock. Fajr is what time? 4:15. We still have to make what? Maghrib and Isha. So lucky for me, in terms of, because I knew my wife, and because it's going to be very technical and difficult and challenging for females, because females need to go to the bathroom. So I already told my wife on Arafah, my darling, you don't have to wait till Muzdalifah, pray your Maghrib here in the waqt of Isha. So it was Maghrib time, she didn't pray, it was Isha time, we were still on Arafah, and I said to her, now you pray Maghrib, and you make the intention of delaying Maghrib in the waqt of Isha, and then you pray Isha 2 rakats, khalas, your salah is done. So there were other guys, part of the group, so I said, I'm not your spiritual leader, I cannot make a call. I'm responsible for myself, I'm responsible for my wife. Unfortunately, many arrive at Muzdalifah and they miss their first salah after coming from Arafah, and they perform it as qada. Wallah, I was so heartbroken. And how would you feel? Ya Allah, the first salah coming from Arafah, you make, whereby if you could have adopted and understand the fiqh aspect and performed your salah, because it's sunnah. Sunnah means something that is optional. And now the condition have changed. The bus came late. So people made qada, and I was sitting in a bus and anxious, Ya Allah, the waqtu, because I didn't pray because I didn't want to create the fitna. So because I'm a guy, so I can just pray anyway. Females need something specific. And so also what I've noticed, when we arrived at Muzdalifah, everybody was shocked. The bus just stopped in the middle of the road. You have to, Ya Allah, and it's like everybody shouting, hooting, yo, and you say, what's happening here? And on the right hand side, you just see people laying people, and you have to step over the people, and now you have to enter through. Just prepare yourself, min fadlik. So you have to enter through the gates, and sometimes they close the gates. So here's an entry point, and there right on top is another exit point. Okay, so they were controlled, to crowd control, they were closed, so that means you will not crowd. And there many have missed the husband or the wife, because now the husband is inside and the wife is outside. And now what makes it worse, so now the spiritual leader shouting, and that happened in our case. Guys, come, make finish your salah. We must go. Ya Rabbi Salih. Wallahi, they made so fast salah. If it were about for 5 minutes, so make it for the most 10 minutes. Staying on Muzdalifah, rushing the Hajj, your Hajj, and someone else is rushing you whilst you performing your ibadah. You have prepared yourself mentally that what you're going to do, and they're rushing. You know, guys, Allah Akbar, there they go. So, yo, what's happening here? And now you're trying to leave from the same gate, the guy closed the gate. No, you can't, that side. And so now you have to jump over, because people are laying. Most of them are staying till Fajr. And we, Capetonians, for Shafi, we want to get done. So now, already after the middle of the night, so we can leave after the middle of the night according to the Shafi madhab. If I leave before the middle of the night, I have to pay the dam, a penalty. If they leave before Fajr, they have to pay a dam. For us to be on Muzdalifah, it is sunnah. For them, it's part of the wajibat of Hajj. So nevertheless, so from there, people get missing. From there, you have to walk. You walk. So, and there, because nobody knows, and the bus stopped, and then you have to start walking. So you're going to walk, Ya Allah, how many kilometers, Marima? Yeah, about 5 kilometers. We're looking like more than 5, Ya Allah, in a crowd, and you're tired, you didn't sleep, and you're walking, There's a possibility that you will also find the adhan will go for Fajr, and that's the Eid morning. So you can stop on the side of the road, pray your Fajr prayer, and you carry on walking. Okay, and you're going to walk, and the first you will say, Ya Allah, when do I get to the Jamarat? When? And I will tell you there, and then you see there were the lights, and you will see the lights, and you have another distance you have to walk in, and so by the lights, and then inside also, because it's like huge. So then another distance that you have to cover in the area of the Jamarat. Okay, so the only Jamarat that you pelt on the day, that's the Eid day, is the Jamarat Aqaba. We only pelt Aqaba. Okay? It's not a must that you have to pick up pebbles on Muzdalifah. If you can't pick it up, fine. It was so hectic that we couldn't even pick up pebbles. We had to pick up pebbles up on our way to pelting the Aqaba. So I was looking for pebbles, okay fine, khalas. Try to keep sufficient pebbles with you. Khalas Masha, it must be stones, it cannot be something plastic, it must be a stone. If you're going to pelt Aqaba, then it must be how many stones? 7 stones. So pelting Aqaba, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, the condition of pelting, the stone must touch you must see that is you pelting the Jamara. Okay, I was like really worried, my wife was pelting, so I said, I can't see you pelt, right man? So I wanted to see, you pelting, I must see, otherwise I must pay the penalty. I want to see that the stone is touching. And if I didn't see, they take another stone and pelt again. So after, and alhamdulillah, it's very convenient. It's not really difficult. In the past it was like very, very difficult. Now it's easy. And we could, reach like right in front by the Jamara. And you could pelt on your own leisure time, and you can pelt. So after pelting, guys, again walking. Then, Ya Allah, then it takes you like, Ya subhanallah, just to get out of the area of the Jamarat, and then most of people get confused. So you must decide what you're going to do. Either I'm going to go straight away, you have one option, and that is to complete one time, go to Makkah, make your tawaful ifadah, make your sa'i and cut your hair and you're done. Khalas, that's a khurrat verlossing. Or the other option is that because you're tired, because of the elderly, it's very hectic, just remember you guys didn't sleep. So then the next option that you go to Aziziyah. Guys with me? So we were standing, so we exit the area of pelting the Jamarat, and we're standing outside, and now we were, okay, there's no, I'm telling you now, there's no buses, you don't see taxis, that's a Eid morning. That's a Eid morning, you're tired. Then the distance, you already another 5 kilometers you have to walk just to get to a taxi. Eid morning, it is like crazy. It is hectic, people overcharge you, ask, Ya Allah, we paid 800 pounds, 800 riyal. So I was like, okay, fine, I just wanted to get it done. But I have to consider my wife now. So I said, okay, fine, what do you see, my darling? We're going to do it. And there was other guys also with us. So I could see they're tired. So I said, okay, khalas, ya Allah, let us go to, khalas, we're going to go to our bayt. We're going to go to Aziziyah. So then we took a small verlossing. Okay, with me, what is a small verlossing? Then I cut my hair. So I asked my wife, cut my hair, I cut her hair. So now I can remove my ihram. Khalas? I can remove my ihram, but I still need to perform my tawaful ifadah. Guys with me? So from there, I went straight away to, and it's better, to Aziziyah, and we took a rest because we didn't sleep. So sleeping for a few hours. From there, you have to make sure that you're on Mina again by Maghrib time. Because according to the Shafi madhab, you must stay on Mina for the bulk of the night. If you're not there, and don't let any person tell you that you're only allowed to stay between Maghrib and Isha. One particular brother, I asked, where are you? You say, no, Sheikh Maulana said I can only stay between Maghrib and Isha on Mina. I say, yeah, khalas, you must pay the dam. Tell Maulana, you must pay your dam. Maulana is not going to pay your dam, and it's your Hajj, and people are giving sometimes wrong advice. And again, how did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stay on Mina? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stayed the whole duration. So the young people, if you can't stay the whole duration of Mina, in our times there was no opportunity for us because there was no Aziziyah. There was only Makkah. And we stayed. Stay. Don't go. You stay on Mina. Guys with me? So according to there's a concession that the Shafi madhab makes, especially for the elderly, because the beds, I told you guys, and at the bathroom, that's always a challenge for the females. So, but you must be present on Mina for the bulk of the night. So how do we count the bulk of the night? We count the bulk either the first half or the second half. So I can either count from Maghrib time till 12:30, or from 12:30 till Fajr time. Okay, so you have to make sure if you're on Mina from Maghrib time till 12:30, then after 12:30 you can go. Or you're not on Mina from Maghrib time to 12:30. So you have to make sure that you stay from 12:30 to Fajr, and then you can leave. Mashayikh, everybody understand that? So this is very important. But my advice is, try to perform the Hajj to the best of your ability, align it to Rasulullah. There are certain concessions, that's for the sick and the elderly, but those of us that are healthy, those of us that can push ourselves, my Prophet stayed the whole duration for all 3 days on Mina. Insha'Allah, I'm going to ask Allah to grant me good health, I'm going to stay. Khalas? I'm going to stay. Why? Because my Prophet have done it so. Yes?
So after Aqaba,
yeah.
after Aqaba you go for Tawaf al-Ifada.
After Aqaba,
and then you come to Mina.
So we have two options. The first option is straight away complete my ibadah of my Hajj by going to, because Tawaf al-Ifada is a rukn of Hajj. I cannot leave Tawaf al-Ifada out. It's a must. Must. So I can either do my Tawaf al-Ifada immediately, or I can do my Tawaf al-Ifada later. So it depends on my condition. Everybody's condition are different. Okay? If you're healthy, you're young, and you have the energy, then do it one time. You pelt Aqaba, and from Aqaba, you have to walk. Just remember, you already walked about 5 to 6 k's. Then you have to walk again another 5 to 6 k's. That's besides your tawaf in that zahma, in that crowd. That's besides the tawaf, the sa'i. That's besides coming out That's besides traveling back to Mina. Guys with me? So just bear in mind. So you have the option either to go straight away to Makkah or to go to Azizia. It's up to you. You can decide, you see how's your body, how's your energy, and your health. That's very important. Khalas?
So you've done the Ifada and the Sa'i, you come back to Mina.
Yeah, if you go straight.
Stay for the whole time.
So if you go straight and you do one time your Tawaf al-Ifada, you have the energy, and you do the Sa'i, and you follows, khalas, you're done. MashaAllah, khalas. The only thing that's now left to be on Mina for the 3 days of Tashri. Yes, the option is 2 days, third days is like optional, but minimum requirement 2 days. Khalas, everybody understand? It's afdal, it's better to stay 3 days. So if it is that you done with your Tawaf al-Ifada, your Sa'i, you follow yourself, now khalas, you're done, then from there, that's the Eid morning. You're tired, you are drained. I'm preparing yourself now, keep some money, for they will knock you. The Eid morning in terms of taxis. Ya Allah, I was like arguing with the guy overcharged, because we know the area, we know the language, and this guy's asking us 800 rand just from here to here down the road. And khalas, you just pay that, sadaqah, lillahi ta'ala. Don't argue. You not to, Wallahi, I was like arguing, then afterwards I realized my wife reminded me, Nabil, you in Hajj. I said, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Wala jidala fil Hajj, I can't argue. You want this? Ya Allah, I'm going to claim it the day of Qiyamah. Take it, yo. So they will rob you, wallahi, 800 riyal. People pay 900 riyal for short distance. And after the period of Hajj, it's like 15 riyal. So you can imagine. So now from there, so then you have to go back to the camp. So you can go to Azizia, take a shower, make sure that you're on Mina by Maghrib time. Guys with me? Maghrib time. So from Maghrib time, you stay on Mina. So if you are not well, then you can leave, but it must be after the middle of the night. Then you go to Azizia, and you can relax, whatever you want to do. Just remember, you're still in a state of ibadah, don't waste your time. Be focused, you're still in a state of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to make sure again the following day, you're back in Mina, and because another ibadah is going to happen now. So if you take the option of going to Azizia first, I follow myself, then I go to Azizia, take a break, relax, I take a shower, put on my clothes now, and then I prepare myself going to where? Mina. Because I'm going to stay on Mina, right guys? So staying on Mina, so it was always the back of my mind, Ya Allah, my Tawaf al-Ifada, anything might happen to me now, I still have to perform my Tawaf al-Ifada. So I tried to the best of my ability to do it very quick. So I took a break, I took a rest, I took a shower, I got my clothes on. So I made my intention after the middle of the night, that same night. I said, no, I'm going to go. So after the middle of the night, after 12, being from Mina, I went. So again, walking. So walking from your, what's his name, 10? Ya Allah, it's very far. You have to walk out to the main street of Azizia. Then you have to bargain for a taxi, and then the taxi is going to drop you also very far from the haram, and then you have to walk in, and then you have to start your journey again, the Tawaf al-Ifada. Tawaf al-Ifada is a rukn, same process that you have followed in terms of our Umrah. So you start where? By the Hajar Aswad. Make an intention, I'm performing this Tawaf. This Tawaf is part of my Tawaf al-Ifada. I told you guys there's a beam on the far right, and that's the starting point, and you make your 7 Tawafs. Right guys? If I'm confused, did I make 5? You're both on the lease. Females, you have to be conscious of your aura. I've seen, because of that ibadah requires your aura to be covered. If any part of your aura is uncovered, your Tawaf al-Ifada is not accepted. Not accepted. So that means everybody knows the aura. You know, my arms is aura, my hair is aura. I've seen how female are so unmindful. People are so unmindful whilst doing that tawaf, especially the females. Arms are open, the hair is open, the neck is open, and Ya Allah. So you're performing this tawaf and it's not accepted. Because the condition for the tawaf to be valid is like salah. Rasulullah said is like salah. The salah's requirement, your aura must be covered, you need to have wudu. So same rule applies for the tawaf ifada. So please, honorable sisters and mothers, be conscious. Make sure, if you follow the Shafi madhab, your feet need to be covered, because feet is awrah. If you follow the Hanafi madhab, obviously toes is not awrah, but anything above your ankles is awrah. If any part of your ankles is exposed, it's awrah, your tawaf will not be valid. So please, I've seen it, Mukanala, because end of the day, who's going to pay the husband? You must make sure your wife will take rekhan. Gloves look on. So nevertheless, so then you perform your tawaf al-ifadah 7 times, reaching again the Hajj al-Aswad. There's a beam on the right hand side, and then that after completion of the 7, slowly move to the right hand side. Then you have to do the next ibadah, and that's the sa'i. Okay, the sa'i is starting from Safa to Marwa, because Allah mentions it in the Quran as is. So after the 7 up and down, then I can cut my hair, then my ibadah is done. I can put on my normal clothes, I can apply perfume. Then the next phase of my ibadah, and that's the phase staying on Mina. So the staying on Mina, Mashayikh, the ibadah there comes the ibadah of the pelting of the jamarat. So the pelting of the jamarat, when is the pelting, the time, the waqtu for the pelting? And how do I pray my salah? Because I'm going to be on Mina, I'm going to pray. Right, guys? So, and you will see some people will make announcements, and guys will come in and say, guys, we're going to pelt now after Fajr. You want to come with us? After Fajr? You guys going to pelt after Fajr? How can you pelt after Fajr? The pelting, according to all the madhab, is only accepted and valid after Zawal. After Zawal. Unless, if the Saudi, many years ago, because of the stampede, to avoid the stampede, the Saudis gave us, each and every country, allocated times. And we could not avoid the times. People were fixed. But now, alhamdulillah, there was no time. Any person could go. And they're creating this vibe and saying to people, no, it's going to be overcrowded. No, Allah, it's not. Even after Zawal, it was not overcrowded. Alhamdulillah, it's like spacious, mashallah, this is enough. Have shoes, guys. You're going to walk. From Mina, wallah, you walk. Because the jamarat is on the far end. You must have proper shoes. You have to wear proper shoes. Please, that's a must for the males, and that's a must for the females. You must have proper shoes. Also, you're going to walk through a lot of tents, and you're going to see water is running. Just remember, there's like a lot of tents, and everybody used the bathroom, and all the facility is different. You will see water, sewage going to be blocked. That's what it is. People go for camping, and stuff get, imagine how many millions of people performing this ibadah. And so don't get distracted with that. You are there for the purpose. If it happened, it happened. Tawakkal Allah. You don't care. I'm here for my purpose, for my ibadah, for myself. And you have to be conscious what you think, what you say, because of you in a spiritual state. And there, that's what I spoke about, the issue of spirituality. Okay, being conscious, akhlaq, being respectful, sharing, giving people water, carrying some sweets with you, sharing. That's very, very important, Jama'ah. We're not living alone on an island, but Allah wants to showcase to us that we have brothers all over the world. My brothers from China, my brothers from Uzbekistan, my brothers from Russia, my brother from Indonesia. That's the purpose and objective of Hajj, not to be all alone. I must integrate with other of the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there you're going to walk. I promise you guys. Now we're going to pelt on the first day. So we have the possibility of 2 days, and it's sunnah to pelt or 3 days. And that's called the days of Tashriq. Everybody understand? So the days of Tashriq, that's the days of the pelting. So it's afdal, is better to start the pelting after Zawal. So I can pelt 2 o'clock, I can pelt 3 o'clock, I can pelt 4 o'clock, I can pelt 5 o'clock. It depends on the group. So in this case, it's better to travel the pelting with the group. Because you don't know the routine, you don't know where to travel, how. So to have people in front and you walking behind, and you're just following, and you're walking till you come by the jamarat. Okay, so we have then the 3 jamarat that you have to pelt. Anybody can tell me what's a jamarat? Sorry? So we have the small jamarat, we have the bigger jamarat, and we have aqaba. So the 3 jamarat you guys have to pelt, okay? And you have to pelt it in a proper tartib and sequence. Make sure that you have enough pebbles with you. That you have enough pebbles. Also what I've noticed, because of the timing, so they gave us, or we said, okay, fine, travel, so about 5 o'clock. Maghrib was about 6:15. So on our way going for the second day pelting, then after completion of the pelting, it was Maghrib time. And wallahi, we walked far. It's about 1.5 hours we had to walk. Then I realized, inna lillah, that we're not, because just remember, it's like crowd and people are walking. How are we going to pray? And it was the waqt of Maghrib was in. And we just pelted and we had to go back to our tent. If I'm going to walk, and by the time I reach my tent, and then to pray Maghrib, will be out of its time. And I've noticed, I'm gonna miss my prayer. So I then could tell my wife, my darling, make intention that you're going to pray Maghrib in the waqt of Isha. Then she then delayed Maghrib and she prayed Maghrib. So we reach our tent. For us it's easy. So I just went one side, I just prayed. Khalas, males is easy, but females is different. So I could just pray my time, it was Maghrib, and the group was right in front there, and I was just prayed my salah, and I could join the group again. So I didn't miss my prayer, I made my prayer because of technically on Mina, according to the hadith of Rasulullah, the majority of scholars says we only pray, we shorten our prayer, but we don't make jam. What is jam? Joining our prayer. Guys with me? So we perform Dhuhr in its time 2, perform Asr in its time 2, perform Maghrib in its time 3, perform Isha in its time 2. Guys with me? Shorten, no combining it. But we do find scholars, not the bulk, that say that you can even joining on Mina. But that's not it's not the majority of scholars. So I followed what the majority said, 2 in time. But because of I found myself in a difficulty knowing I'm going to miss the prayer. Guys with me? So if I'm walking on Mina, Maghrib is in, and I can see the group is going to miss the prayer. So because of the fiqh that I had, I could make an intention, adopting a different possibility. So I told my wife, make the niyat that you're going to pray Maghrib in the waqt of Isha, so that you can take the leeway. So alhamdulillah, we reached at our tents, Isha time. My wife made Maghrib, and then she made the Isha. And I asked the group, did you guys make Maghrib? No, nobody made Maghrib. Do you guys make the niyat of delaying Maghrib to pray it in the waqt of Isha? Nobody made that intention also. So that means to pray Maghrib as qada. So how can you pray Maghrib? How would you feel in that spiritual state? You making qada salah. So can you see how your fiqh can come in, and I could use the fiqh to my benefit because of my situation have changed. Mashaykh with me, understand? So you will be on Mina the first day, pelting the 3 jamarat. The second day, exactly the same after Zawal, pelting the 3 jamarat. And if you want to leave, then you have to make sure that before Maghrib time, you have to vacate. Otherwise, you have to stay for the 3rd day also. So you're healthy, you can manage to stay. It's only once in a lifetime that you get, without getting any opportunity again to perform Hajj. Then you stay and you perform your 3 days on Mina by pelting the Jamarat. So alhamdulillah, that's your Hajj is done. Okay? Then after that, you will go back to Aziziyah. So in Aziziyah, normally we stay about 2 days, and then after that we go back to our country. Here, the last ibadah that we still have to do is the ibadah of Wida. Yeah. So the Wida, when do I do my Wida? What? The Wida must be done the closest to the time that I'm traveling. You cannot do the Wida if I'm traveling tonight and you're doing the Wida already this morning. It's not going to work. It must be the closest time. It must be the last activity of worshipping Allah prior to me leaving. That's why it's called Wida. Meaning, farewell, Assalamu alaikum, Ya Allah, making my tawaf, and I'm going to the airport. Khalas, done. And I've seen people are making this mistake. They make the tawaf al-Wida early, And after the tawaf al-wida, they still go around and they're shopping and they can't do that. So if you have done that, then you have to redo your tawaf al-wida. Okay? And you cannot really afford, because of, just remember, it's like so crowded, so many people. So your tawaf al-wida, the closest to my traveling, to my departure time, very, very close. So if it is, my departure time is tonight 8 o'clock, and I can manage to do it about, say, 4 o'clock, and after that, coming back from Makkah, after the completion of my tawaf al-wida, just pack my bags, get in the bus, and assalamu alaikum, then I go. That's what it is. Females that have hayd, tawaf al-ifada, sorry, tawaf al-wida is not a requirement, you don't have to do it. Okay, we, as a must, as part of the wajibat of Hajj, that we have to do it. If you don't do it, you have to pay a penalty. Inshallah, that gives us the end of our class. I'm over my time. Allah grant us accepted Hajj, and Allah grant us good health, and Allah grant us that we return safe back to the family, inshallah. Shukran. Any questions? Afadal.
So with Umrah and performing the Umrah and the Hajj, you advise don't shave our hair at the Umrah and shave it rather at the end of Hajj.
It's up to you.
I'm just thinking you shave it in Umrah, it's only a few days later.
Yeah, just it's in a quiet years, but to shave it. Yeah, I'm joking. No, yeah, it's up to you. Just remember, it's a sunnah. It's your choice. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, Allah bless those that shave, and Allah bless those that shave. Allah bless those that shave.
We shave our hair.
And it grows, and then after that, you're shaving it again. And even the mousse just running through your hair, that's also fine. It's up, yeah. Yeah, tafadhal. Spray bottle. Yeah, according to the Shafi madhab, spray bottle is not going to work. Shafi madhab says the water must run. So if you're spraying, the water is not running. So I must throw the water, and it must run over my limbs. Spraying it is not running. So that wudu will not be valid.
So that the wudu companion they speak about is not like They say that this wudu companion that they advertise.
Wudu companion?
Yeah.
What is that?
Companion. It's a spray bottle. That's not putting the shop now.
I'm just in terms of.
It's advertised.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever they advertise, I'm speaking about the fiqh. The fiqh is, and actually this mas'ala, this issue of the spraying came up many years ago, about 4 years. We had this zero water, can you guys remember?
Yes.
And because I served on the fatwa department, and an issue came up, it was still in Masjid al-Qudsiyah, and the guys were spraying. So from a fiqh perspective, that you can't spray, it must run. So the definition of the wudu is that the water must run over my. The Maliki madhab is not, they even go to extent that you have to rub. So it's not sufficient by spraying, it's not sufficient by running. The Maliki madhab says you have to make dalq, you have to rub it in. And if it's not rubbed in, then the wudu is not valid. So, end of the day, I don't know. I'm just saying from a fiqh, I'm not going to judge people. So you cannot spray. You can't say, make so, and you spray it. That's not going to work. No. You can't. You can't spray in khalas, then it's fine. That's not running. The water must run over my limbs of my body. Okay, you can't say, okay, spray my face, then my face is washed. No.
Somebody else spray.
So, yeah, if you're going to take a bottle and you spray, and so you're wetting it, so that's not running, that you're just wetting it. So, yeah, so according to Shafi, the water must run, and it must run, and then I use it and I rub it over my body. So I cannot spray it, or the sprinkler comes and I keep my face, I keep my arms, it's not going to work. It must run out, and then that's the way that I wash my body parts for wudu.
Just so if you take the spray at night, just ask, so you spray, I think that's the question, you spray sufficiently such that the water ends up running. So you spray profusely, and how it
It's run out of the tap. It must run. So, yeah, it's running. See there. So not spraying. It must run. So this is what is running. Khalas. Don't take it. It's running. Then I. Khalas. Yallah. And it's not difficult. Why, guys? Take a small bottle. Small bottle I can take wudu. It's running. Tawakkalullah. Then I rub my face. But spraying, no. No, not spraying. Yes, Malama Salima. Yes, the issue is spraying. That's what it is. Don't spray. The issue, because the Shafi Madhab said the water must run. So a small bottle, the same, take the spray, the top off, and this allows the water to run. It's not difficult. So you take the water is running out, and you put it in your hand and you wipe your face. But you can't spray it on you. That's not going to work. You can't spray it on you.
So you decide to stay for the whole 3 days of Tashriq from Mina. So you do all the waqts for that 3 days on Mina. You don't go in and out.
Yeah, the waqtus that you're praying on Mina, obviously you must stay in the area of Mina. And you must stay on Mina. I said that only, so if you're on Mina, you make your prayer qasr. Qasr means shorten, but still in the waqtu. The Shafi and Hanafis, we differ in terms of but I'm not going to, in terms of qasr and jam. They pray all the waqtus on time. We say if you're on travel, that you're allowed even to make qasr and to bring it forward. The Hanafi no. They pray on time, and don't also, and I've noticed, because you guys, we're going to travel with different people from different areas that follows different madhahib. Don't let the madhahib divide us. The madhahib is a methodology that the Prophet ﷺ had given us. And interpretation that's allowed. The Prophet ﷺ, Nabi Muhammad ﷺ said to the 2 companions, you guys have to, don't pray unless and until you reach Bani Qurayza. It's an area. So they were traveling. And the waqt of Asr was in, so the 2 companions had a disagreement. The one understood, the Prophet ﷺ said, no, we should not pray unless you reach. And if you're going to reach, the waqt is going to be out. And the other one said, no, I understand from Rasulullah ﷺ meaning that the urgency of praying, of time reaching a destination, but the Prophet never intended to say you must miss your prayer. So the one decided he prayed on time, and the other one decided, no, my understanding from the text that I must pray there, out of the time. Right, guys? So both of them came to the Prophet, and both of them conveyed the message to the Prophet. The Prophet ﷺ said, you're right and you're right. You're right and you're right. So why is it that you guys are arguing and you're fighting? And that's I've seen, and actually you guys are bringing it to my attention now. I've seen that the people are not tolerant. And who's suffering? You guys are suffering. And unfortunately, we are raised different in Cape Town because of we are very open. And I mean, I'm an imam in a masjid, my muadhin is a Hanafi. And the format of the adhan, according to the iqama, is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Like, we Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad. They say it twice. But that's a format. The Prophet have done it. And it's accepted. So it's my duty to teach my community, no, this is right. The Prophet ﷺ have done that particular formality, which is correct. So what I've noticed, people are fighting. You guys are going to be on Mina, and then the Hanafi guys will say, it's the waqt of Asr. And the Shafi said, no, we don't pray with you guys because of the waqt. You guys praying different times. You guys are straying and arguing for something so trivial, unnecessary. And we see the one puts up in a group, according to the Hanafi this, and then immediately after that, the guys of Shafi or the Hanafi guys put up, no, that's batil. Inna lillahi inna raji'un. They are fighting and they're creating this fitna that's unnecessary. The Prophet ﷺ has given us certain possibilities and options. If it is that I can utilize the option, I utilize it. Guys with me? So don't argue. If you guys are together with the Hanafis, and the Hanafis will not, sometimes it's very difficult for them to change. It's very difficult because they're being taught like that. They fight. They don't want to change. They're not going to budge. I'm telling you now, they're not going to change the waqt asr time. So we can, khalas, then we make our asr time to their time, no problem. Is the waqt still in? Yes, the waqt is still in, because the waqt ends when? By Maghrib time. So to create the unity, and so I'm then allowed to make the waqt a bit later. So yeah, so don't be unnecessary fighting and arguing for something so minor. Stick to the basics, what you are being taught. And that's very important. And even the spiritual leaders will tell you that. The one particular sheikh also, because he was also part of a group, the guys from Joburg came from Cape Town, it was like a big fight, this one says so, that Maulana says so. And then he called the auntie and told the auntie, whatever your sheikh have taught you at home in Cape Town, stick to that. Stick to that. We don't want to create a fitna here. So whatever you are being taught, you stick to that. Allah, tawakkal Allah. Any question?
You also advise make wudu Hanafi madhab.
Wudu Hanafi?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm asking.
Well,
What's the difference between
no. The wudu stays wudu. The only difference between a Hanafi and a Shafi in terms of the wudu,
you make a dua in a different way?
No. So yeah, so the Shafi, we have certain based on our understanding from the text of Rasulullah, that we say the arkans of the wudu consist of 6. Okay, and they say the arkans of the wudu is 4, mathalan, for example. So we say the niyat is a must. We say the tartib, the sequence, is also a must. Meaning I must follow the wudu in a proper sequence. The Hanafi, they say no, it's not a requirement to make it. But they make it in tartib. But if they should wash their feet first and then their head first, then it will be valid. But they follow the proper sequence. We say, in terms of our wiping of the head, the minimum requirement is 3 strands of hair. But for them, it is like quarter of the head. But we wash the whole head. Guys with me? So it's nothing different. It's just about what they deem fard, we don't deem fard. What they deem sunnah, we don't deem it as sunnah. And that's what it is. So I take my normal wudu, I have to wash my hands, I wash my mouth, sunnah, I wash my nose, sunnah, I wash my face. I know it's minimum requirement for my head, but I was afdal, better, I wash my whole head. So I wipe my whole head, that's a sunnah for beloved Rasulullah, but minimum for the fard, 2 strands. Their minimum is not 3 strands, their minimum is a quarter. But they agree, the whole head, afdal is better. Guys with me? And according, then I wash my ears, and I wash my feet, that's a proper tartib. Khalas, tawakkal Allah. The issue of touching of a strange woman, yeah, that's it's very difficult to avoid it, especially in the tawaf. So we just make taqleed. Taqleed means I adopt a different madhab. Is not a must. The Hanafi, it can be the Maliki, it can based on my situation that I find myself in. We have just came out of Ramadan, right? And everybody paid. What did we pay? Zakat al-Fitr. How did you pay? Money? Everybody paid money, right? That's not the Shafi. That's unacceptable. The Shafi don't even accept zakat al-Fitr in money form. So why? So we easily accept to make taqleed to something that not even a must. But according to the Shafi madhab, according to the text, I must give staple food, because that is what Rasulullah allocated. Muhammad said the measurement of sa'a, I have to give like the most commodity and staple food of my country. Say for example, if it's rice, it must be 3 kilos rice. Why are you guys making taqleed to the Hanafi? Why? The Prophet said 3 kilos of rice. Why is it that you guys said that? Is it like a necessity? Is it a must? It's easy, I can just buy 3 kilos of rice. So, but you so conveniently, you say, no, we give the money, ahlan wa sahlan. But on Hajj, that is so difficult to avoid. Oh, must I make taqleed? Can I make taqleed? So we accepting it's like, we accepting it, everybody's giving money. With the Hanafi madhab is the only madhab that allows to give money. They allow. And that's why our measurement, our amount, based on the rating of the Hanafi are different. Hanafi's terms of measurement, measurement and the money is like, that's why you paid much more. But if you would have stick to the Shafi, then you would have paid less in terms of buying the rice. So that is what is we make taqleed. I've adopted the madhab for my difficulty that I find myself in. And so if it is that wudu, I take my normal wudu, I make taqleed to the Hanafi that if I do touch somebody, touch me, or I touch the person, my wudu is not nullified. And that's khalas, tawakkal Allah. Wudu is valid. Because the condition of the tawaful ifada, you must have wudu. So if you touch a strange woman, obviously according to the Shafi madhab, your wudu is nullified. Whether it was feeling or no feeling, wudu is nullified, right? But that's, you cannot avoid it. So in such a case, yes, good for that. Shukran, reminding us. Any question, other? Afwan. Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can't you make dhuhr quickly?